10:30 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Well, hopefully they're not listening off the rails because it's probably a little more than they'll be able to handle. This is Alex, co-host Off the Rails. Danielle Alexandre, she's been working really hard. She has been the minister. No, not the minister. That's you. What am I doing? Has been the Duchess of doing a lot of stuff. It's a good way of looking at it, right? And just needs to take a rest tonight, so she's off for the evening. That's just going to be me and Greg with the best shirt in the world, by the way. Like, I don't even want to say it. Well, it's the 10:30 show. I guess you're allowed to say it, but I don't even want to say it though. But fuck you, you fucking fuck. The minister of the sinister, the guy that has more cooler shirts, and I don't even care if that ain't even a word. I don't even care. Greg, evil shirt Boeing. How are you doing, Greg?
Spectacular. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. You know if I was doing any better? We know when people ask me that question, do you know what I say to them almost every time?
What's that?
Not every time. And not to everybody. Like to people I don't know, though. Like if I just meet somebody for the first time, they go, how you doing? I go, I was doing any better? They find a way to tax it and regulate it. Just a little bit of a way for me to spread the message in a very nonchalant way.
That's right.
Just go, I was doing any better? They find a way to tax it and regulate it.
And they would do it by executive order if they have to.
Damn right this guy would. This guy thought he was talking like an audience of people what he was going to do, not the guys that are the second branch that need to actually be involved in that decision-making process, maybe, big guy.
Yeah.
You traitor? What's wrong with you?
He was stealing my line. He was basically saying a big fuck you guys to the Congress.
I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah. The theme of the night was by executive order if I have to.
Honestly, look, I know the show's off the rails, so like I'd hate to do a 3-hour show on the State of the Union, but I got to tell you, I almost could.
Totally.
I watched that freaking thing, and I was so like, you know what the problem is? The problem is what really pisses me off about this guy is that he talks about like unity, and he talks about like coming together. And he talks about like all this other stuff, right? And then he lays out these accomplishments. Like they're his doing. Like it was government that just appointed those things to happen. And they're not growing, like the energy thing. I always think this one's the funniest one.
He took credit for fucking Google.
Yeah. This guy is taking credit for everything.
If it wasn't for the government, we wouldn't have Google. That's not how I understand how this company started.
Yeah. Here's not just that though, but here's the thing. And this is one of the harder arguments when people talk about like the Industrial Revolution when the Fed first started printing money and the effects of those things and how it's been ramped up and just destroyed. I mean, you got to remember, at least it was consistently bad, but only like very, very small amount. And then they just ramped that thing up when it came to the inflation rate, when it came to the money supply. Mm-hmm. At a certain point when they dropped gold, it was over, But like, they always say, well, that was needed for all the technological gains. But that's totally not even the truth, though. Like, what was happening in 1913? I can't believe we're bringing this back to 1913, but...
It always come back to 1913?
It kind of does, doesn't it? What was going on is that businesses were not investing in the banks. Like, they weren't going to the banks for loans. They were privately financing. And so the country was privately financing for the most part. And then the banks couldn't have that shit because, God, they wouldn't be in charge then.
Yeah. We have to own everything.
We got to own the whole thing. So that's what they did. And they would run the scares on the banks beforehand. They'd be having something to do with the bank runs beforehand to cause all this drama and say, well, we need to have a centralized bank in order to get this done. And ever since then, they've been everything.
And the people didn't even want a centralized bank, which is why they couldn't call
That's why they made a Fed.
That's why they couldn't call it the central bank. They had to call it the Federal Reserve. Because it couldn't be the first Bank of America or the second Bank of America, because both those central banks got shut the fuck down because they were screwing us and we didn't want them anymore. So we couldn't do it again, so we had to call it the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, they did it in secret, and later on wrote about how they did it in secret and why they did it in secret. Like, it's all there as to why, and it's sinister as shit. Like, it's so fucking shady.
It's better than any movie.
Yeah.
And it's worse than any movie because it's real. And we all feel the repercussions every day.
Dude, I would love to see like a Fed movie. That would be really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I wonder who would do that. Who would you want to direct that, by the way?
Martin Scorsese and Al Pacino starring.
You just want Scorsese and Pacino?
Yeah.
That.
Am I wrong?
Well,
Will it be bad?
I would go with an Oliver Stone or something.
Oliver
on
Stone
that.
could do it.
I would
Quentin Tarantino.
a Tarantino fed movie.
Yeah, that.
That would be really cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. I would be for that, actually. Even though they'd have to change it up a little bit, like somebody'd have to,
Well,
they have to do something.
yeah.
Oh wait, let's open the window up though. Sorry about that. But getting back to this though, if you look at again, this guy is making claims on stuff that, like, the only reason that thing even went well is because you guys got out of the way. Like, it ain't even because you did something great. It's because you got out of the way and let the free market work.
You were so busy trying to sell everybody on Obamacare that you weren't in everybody's way in these places, so people are prospering.
Well,
And they're pulling out every single example that they can for things that work, like Obamacare and all that. And I love how they tried out the different people. And well, this is our one success story. And
yeah, that's all you got, guy.
yeah, he didn't talk about anything that gives him his 40% approval rating. None of those things got mentioned.
Here's the thing. The other thing, and this is where it pisses me off with the lies, though. This is what he says in here. Here are the results of your efforts. The lowest unemployment rate in over 5 years. Okay, you dick. People are quitting the workforce. It's the lowest number in forever, right? You can't say that. You know the truth. You exactly. Asshole. You're telling that number in and of itself is a manufactured lie as it is. The fact that number is even something that you can tout, and you guys, the government, won't even calculate the number correctly. You're lying to people to keep people calm.
They're evil.
If everybody knew the truth and they said, you know what, unemployment's in the 20s. It's been since 2008. They just stopped counting the people that quit working. Quit looking. And there's some people that just freaking quit looking. You assholes. But at any rate. But here's the thing.
Sorry, I'm getting the transcript.
Oh, I got you. Oh, you got to pull it up. Okay, my bad. So, I'm looking at this, right? So, if you look at that first thing is enough just to piss me off and fucking make me go crazy. Then I hear the rest of it, and you're just like, oh, my God. You don't stop. I'm one sentence into this thing. A rebounding housing market.
Yeah.
Where is this happening at?
Yeah. Is this in Detroit? The ghost town. The town that is going to be turned into zombie land.
Yeah. Oh, wait, they've been full Democrat. And hold on. That's another thing, by the way. They've been full Democrat control for 50-something years, right? 60 years.
Yeah.
Only Democrats have been in charge. And the city looks... The police are telling you, make sure you're carrying a gun with you.
It's just like Detroit for RoboCop.
Fucking it is, isn't it, though? Ain't that some shit? Why would they want to turn it into the movie, You think you're going to get a film deal out of this, Detroit? What is going on here? Look, I think Detroit's one of those cities that'd be prime for a libertarian takeover, to be honest with you.
Well...
Again, it's just too damn cold in Detroit, man. I'm not moving.
Yeah.
Screw you. It's too cold.
Exactly.
You should never have built a city in a place that cold.
Yeah. Well, Michigan's just South Canada anyway. We should have just gave it to them.
So I can't be a free stater right there. Cold is tyranny, man.
Oh.
Yeah, and you can wear a sweater and wear shoes. But I don't want to do that, though, man. I just want to not live in an environment where I got to do that in order to be warm.
Exactly.
I'll snowbird you, maybe, at best. But I can't vote there. I'm going to vote down here.
Yeah.
Why can't you take over Florida? Well, it's already turning our way anyway.
Exactly. Just a few more people. That's all we need.
Just need
why do they want to go to someplace that cold, that far north?
Well, I mean, they don't take the temperature in account when they did it. They did. Yeah. They honestly, they didn't take the temperature into account. They took the number of delegates, the ease of the process of being elected into office, the population, so how many people that would represent. They took all that stuff into account and then just, said we can move there and then change it from there because that's the smallest state. It's the easiest to do it. And honesty, and don't get me wrong, I think a free state project type idea is not a bad idea. I think you're looking at it the wrong way. Look, you can be ignored in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
You can be ignored. You can look. They're 1 rep, 2 senators. Don't get me wrong. You'll be able to get 1 rep and 2 senators in Washington. But none of the rest of the country's really going to notice you. Like, you're just not. You're New Hampshire. Again, don't get me wrong. I got no problem with New Hampshire. Tons of history there. All that kinds of crap, right? But in today's age, it's Florida, Texas, California, New York.
Yeah.
If you really want to do something where you're going to change this country, you got to take over one of those 4. You got to take over one of the 4.
Yep.
Libertarians, in all actuality, could actually have a foothold nationally in politics if we can take over Florida. It gives that ability because Florida's that big.
Well,
that's the prize.
Florida's a state like a lot of other states, Texas, California, New York, Illinois, that can take the lead on things. That if Florida does something, a lot of times the rest of the country will follow on what Florida does, just like California and Texas and New York and Illinois. So,
but out of all the big states, though, I think that Florida's the only one you got a chance at, though.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because Texas is way too red, man, and they got a big LP affiliate there. It's not even like the state affiliate for Texas is actually a pretty good affiliate. They're way better. I mean, they get a lot of money in. Yeah. You know. They run a lot of candidates. They lose a lot. But
it's a big state.
It's a big. Well, no, you're right. But here's the thing: even for the small, like congressional seats and stuff, they run hundreds of candidates.
Right.
They just don't win. I mean, we don't win either. But what I'm saying is, I think that if you look at the electorate, I think that the electorate in Florida is the one where you have the best possibility of actually getting, major libertarian victories.
Right. And there's a lot of government overreach and government screw-ups and government corruption here in Florida.
Yeah. The government's not even run right.
It's easy to point to get people on their side.
And Republicans are totally in charge here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's always like, and honestly, and this state went for Obama last time, and Republicans are in charge.
Yeah, well, major metropolitan areas go for Democrats. And we
Typically.
do have quite a few large major metropolitan areas that swung the state.
Well, yeah, South Florida, for one.
Yeah, South Florida.
I think
the
Pinellas
Bay Area. Yeah. I mean, the major metropolitan areas is where the Democrats do well. So, you look at, I forget what the website is that shows all the counties and how everything broke down. The rural areas, the Republicans win. The major metropolitan areas,
they got strong. They're strong out there, too.
Yeah.
They're real strong out there. And there's some places Democrats don't even run.
And the way things work out in a presidential election, Obama ends up winning the state, because of that. But Republicans still control everything as far as the state government,
state house and stuff. Well, maybe this year. And here's the thing, though: this year we're walking into an unknown.
Well, that's true.
You could actually make a case for any of the 3. Even Adrian, you can make a case for Adrian. But you can make a case that on the numbers of how he'll get elected, like if Rick Scott would win re-election, you can figure out the how on Chris, and you can figure out the how on Adrian, to be honest with you. And if you want my honest opinion, when it comes to like the ground team stuff, I think Adrian actually, when it comes to people willing to volunteer for his campaign, I think Adrian has the other guys beat right now.
Absolutely.
But the Democrat and Republican machines, though, is a whole different story right now. You know what I mean? I mean, it's if they go full machine for Rick Scott, which they'll do, and it's full machine for Charlie Crist.
When the time comes.
When the time comes, if they do. But if we can get enough done beforehand, and we get a victory out of March, here's the thing, man. Let me ask a question this way to you. Do you think that you're about to see, like, some history-making shit? Or do you think that, maybe not?
It's tough to
say. Are you just not getting your hopes up, right?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I'm long-time libertarian, very jaded.
Yeah, very jaded. Very jaded. I hear you.
I expect the worst and hope for the best. I have not given up, but
well, let me ask a question another way, though. Do you think that what you're seeing now is more serious than you've ever seen in the past when it comes to how things are being run?
Absolutely. I'm
like light years difference, right?
Definitely. There are candidates out there with campaigns that are actually doing well. People know who they are, recognize them in the street, recognize them from the media. They're getting media attention. I mean, it's unbelievable what's going on for the movement here in this state.
Yeah.
So,
So
I'm definitely proud of the party.
It's
and
on the way
and
up.
the candidates.
It's on the way up.
Absolutely. We're definitely doing better than we ever have,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, from what I can see. The organization and the way everybody that is involved in the organization is getting things done. I'm happy with the way it's going.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful. That's why I can hope for the best.
Yeah.
But I still expect the worst, and not because of our organization, because I think it's doing well. I think we still have a lot of people against us.
Yeah.
A lot of forces against us.
Yeah.
And like you said, when the machine gets engaged from both the Republicans and the Democrats,
What is that going to do?
well, yeah, and it's going to make it tough for us. They got a lot of money,
Yeah. Here's the
and
only.
they got a lot of attention.
Here's the only thing, though, and again, it doesn't happen to everybody. So you have to. I completely agree with you there that it doesn't happen to everybody. But man, I've talked to a lot of regular voters in the past freaking 90 days. And the one thing we get from your average freaking voter, like just, Joe freaking citizen, are you Democrat or Republican? And says it in such a mean tone. Like before we even say anything, there's been people who go, Democrat or Republican? And you go, I'm a libertarian. Oh, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like that response from the general public and for like I said, 1,606 bad conversations at the most, maybe. Nobody's mean or bad or nothing like that. Everybody's been nice and open and welcoming, and they could all be lying, but they don't seem like they're lying. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they seem to genuinely pissed off at the other ones. So even if you have that outreach that they're going to do, they're not going to get I don't think they're going to get those people back. I mean, they might, but man,
I would like to wait until we see the vote totals.
no. You're right. You're
Before I get too excited about, because I agree with you. I'm seeing a lot of good things out there, talking to people. A lot more people on our side than there used to be. But will they show up and vote? Will things be different come election time? Are they going to fall for the same tricks?
Here's the thing, and this is the keeping it real. And here's the thing: it's a hopeful message, but at the same time, it's a message of we need people. So let me say it this way: the only my opinion here, the only thing that stops us as a political party is that we don't have enough people within the party that are doing the core basic work that desperately needs to be done. And here's the thing. I'm busy running around everywhere, so I can understand. But even the activities that they're doing, they're not doing nearly enough of direct door-to-door voter contact. The only reason, if Lucas loses, it's not because the people didn't like him. It's because not enough people knew about him, nor did they think they had a chance to win. And we can blame those people, right? And go, you're just, you should have known. What were you thinking? Or we can say that it's our job to do that. Like, they're not going to give us a fair shake in the media. We know it. Lucas has gotten better than ever. But even then, you still have to have that solid ground game in order to do it. And we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We don't have enough people that have bought into that yet. It's getting better. There's a lot more going on. And the logistics of it is hard to do. So I'm not even trying to say that because you got to get people voter lists. But we're working on some shit to make all that shit easy and a reality and keeping it user-based and ground up and all that shit. We've already got it done. I mean, I got to wait for Kurt. We got to get it finished up and we're good. I don't think people understand how vitally important that is, considering that we don't have a base of people that just go out and vote libertarian.
Right.
The Democrats and Republicans have that already. Their problem is they're not actually protecting their base.
Right, because they're not going door to door.
Well,
Some
look, I hate to be doing all the talking on this one. I'm really sorry, but I want to explain, at least from what I've seen with these guys, they have people that are committee men and committee women within the RECs, right? But the RECs are only half filled. So only half of only half of the positions for what this job would be are filled. That's it. And the other ones don't do it the right way. And what I mean by that is First off, their only job is to protect the base.
Right.
They're supposed to go out and visit the base. There's instructions on them to do this. They don't do it. I would argue very, very few of them do. And if they do it, they're just doing it for their election. Like elect me for committee man or committee woman. But they're not doing the job of what a committee man or a committee woman would be. They don't have to. You remember before when I said that, you ever I've used the Batman thing about Bane, where he had Batman, he said, victory defeated you.
Right.
That's where these people are. All we got to do is go and take it.
Right.
So
You're absolutely right. Because they're not out there walking doors. They're not out there hitting the neighborhoods like we're doing. And that's how they will lose, because they're taking it for granted.
yeah, there's a ton of
taking their
independents out
victory
there.
for granted.
There's a ton of independents. Look, the independents could actually... You know how they say the independents could sway the election?
Well, they always do.
Yeah, I know they always do. But in all reality, though, it's almost an insult now to the independents.
Because the independents own the election and always have.
Because they actually are the largest voting bloc.
They are.
And if all y'all would vote the right way, then they wouldn't be able to do this stuff. So the people that are hardcore Democrats and hardcore Republicans, go let them play. You don't need them. You can just... And the pisser of it is, on almost every ballot, there's a couple independent candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Like, from now on, from this point moving forward, I firmly believe that if there's an independent in the race, normally they would get my vote, but I might vote Democrat or Republican. If there's an independent in the race, though, and I'm voting, I'm definitely not voting for a Democrat or Republican.
Oh,
I mean, unless I
years.
know them very well. Like, there's some people that I know that are Democrats or Republicans that I would vote for if I was in there. Like, if they're running for a county commissioner or police chief or
right.
not police chief, but
sheriff
or things like that. Like Swope. Swope's a Dem, but
Swope's a Democrat.
yeah,
that we would
I'm
vote
walking for that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Roach. Down in Pinellas County, Republican would walk for that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roach is good people. So those are two people, but most of those people would be local. Like for a congressional seat that we have now,
there's nobody at the state or federal level,
not
that's
anywhere near I
Democrat
can
or
vote.
Republican that I support.
No,
You're absolutely right. It's all local. There's nothing further than county. I think that I support Democrats, or there are any Democrats or Republicans that I support.
Yeah, that you even know enough to be able to do it.
Yeah,
but Swope was one of them though, because Swope's a libertarian.
Yeah.
I mean, you even got to think about that job. Like, you're the sheriff, so you're there to enforce the law. But if you think like a libertarian, victimless crime, nope, not going to happen anymore. You're going to... He basically would have got rid of that.
Yeah.
Ain't that a bitch?
I would have loved to have seen him win the election.
Yeah. We walk
Maybe
some doors
next
for
time.
him. We walk some doors. It really does come down to the walking of the doors, though. Look, we just don't have... We need to literally go to people... Social media only does so much, by the way.
Yeah, well, too many people rely on social media as if it's gonna win the elections and do something.
Yeah,
and it doesn't.
Well, it's great to be. Look, I am taking a brand new view on social media. I've already kind of been going this way anyway, but I'm finalized with it now. And this is, I don't even know if people are gonna like the way this sounds, but I'm gonna say it either way. I view social media now as a way to communicate with the converted that are going out to the unconverted, and to coordinate activities and events and things and information with them.
Right.
But if I don't agree with you, I don't even want you on the page. Don't care. Because you know what? I'm not going to argue the merits of my case with you. I'm not going to argue whether it's good or it's bad. I'm going to give other people arguments that they can use and articles and stuff like that they can spread out and stuff. But in all reality, I'm there for the people that already believe. Like, if you're a libertarian, okay, we're cool. If you're one of the other ones, you want to come on there, that's fine. I'm not debating with you anymore. If I see you on a page running talking trash, I'm gonna block you. I'm not gonna argue with you either. I'm not gonna do anything. I don't want you to see what I'm putting out.
Well, our arguing on the internet is not going to get us anywhere.
No.
It's not going to help us in any way, shape, or form. So there's no benefit to use Facebook to get in internet arguments and fight with people and try and convert people. If they're on your side, fine. I totally agree with you. Use it to communicate and coordinate. It's not to convert. You know,
I mean,
if you're the type of person that wants to have those conversations and get into those arguments, fine.
Yeah.
But that's all you're doing. You're not helping the cause. You're not bringing about change by fighting with people on the internet.
Yeah, you gotta be. And the thing is, see, that's what pisses me off about other people out there, because I know they've gotten a couple little. You've heard, watch these things about this person and this person on there. Oh yeah, I'm big on social media and all that stuff. Hey, look, at the end of the day, how many people do you get out to knock on a door, dude? Like, how many people you actually are doing something? Is it you? Because you're not. So, like, what are you? It almost irks me about some of our media guys too. Like some of the guys, even in on like the radio side and the other sides. Like, we do a show, and it's funny, we do 2 of them, but it's only like 3 hours one day a week, though. We're like Stossel, But Stossel ain't walking doors either.
But we don't take the show seriously as the primary catalyst for change. It helps. It's
we
one
would
of
have
the
to
tools.
promote it to do that.
But we all know that going out door to door, talking to people, talking to voters, talking to everyday people is how we're going to do this.
Well, there's a trick, by the way. If you wanted to, there's a trick to it. There is a trick, by the way. You have to do this like in your own area, though. You really got to do this, because then you got to start actually knowing your neighbors. But you've heard the Rose story before, right?
The Rose story?
Yeah, you've heard the Rose story, right? I don't have to repeat that story, do I?
I don't know. I'm going to say yes, so you know.
Okay, okay, hold on. I'll make it quick. Woman, Newport Richie, had a broken street light in front of her house. Remember that one?
No.
We're walking for Malter. Went to a lady. She has to carry a gun with her in the morning when she's walking because her street lights are out and the city hasn't come and fixed them.
Okay.
So we called the city and had them fixed. Rose thanks us. Rose votes for who we want to vote. If we went to Rose and said, hey, vote for this person, she'd probably vote for that person because we fixed her street lights.
Right.
Look, if we became the buffer between people and government, then those people would just tell us who to vote for. They would be like, no, vote for that person there, or vote for that person there. I mean, but you're not going to get that with everybody, but you can start, like, it don't take many out of 10, remember,
Right.
You got to remember the low numbers that it all is if you really think about it.
Right.
If we focus more on that stuff, and like you can go even gardening, like go in there and do what Eric does with gardening. Like I said, I mean, we got to do more of that personally. But like I said, every time, what really pisses me off is I always say this, and I do it as much as I can locally in my own neighborhood that I can. But I don't get to do it enough because I'm out doing everywhere else.
Right.
Like I got to be down there for Lucas. It makes only perfect sense to go down there for Lucas to do that. So every weekend I can, I'm actually spending 2 days for Lucas. I could be spending 2 days in my own neighborhood, but I can't. Because I got to go down there for Lucas. Now, we get Lucas a win, and then we get more people involved than I can get back. But then I'd need like 30 or 40 or 50 people out there on a Saturday walking, And we don't have that. It's like, guys, where you at? Again, it's what we will win now is we have to win all the non-sexy shit. Like, we got to eat our vegetables now.
Yes.
We've been snacking for too long.
Yes.
We got to eat if we want to do this, we got to eat our vegetables. We got to be serious.
The social media is the ice cream.
No, great tool. Needs, we got to use it. We're still going to use it. We're going to use the shit out of it.
No nutritional value, though.
But you know what? We got to just use it the right way, though. It's communication. But it's all communicating to go and talk to somebody else, man. Somebody not online. Somebody in your own where you live.
Right.
Because that's who you need to talk. And you don't need to even talk to that many at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A couple hundred at a clip.
And the people you talk to on social media, anyway, either they already agree with you or they don't agree with you and they're just going to argue with you. So you're not really affecting anything on social media.
Well, now
once you get out and start talking to people, it's a different story.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But also, you could use social media more, but not on like Facebook. There's places where you see your neighbors at. And one of them is a website called nextdoor.com. I just started this one.
This is one of your websites?
No. Okay. Somebody else created this. Fuck. Wow. I mean, I do a lot of shit, man, but I mean, I'm not all that.
Okay. The private social network for your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Interesting. Build a stronger neighborhood. Connect with your neighbors to stay informed and share useful local information. Keep the neighborhood safe. Look out for each other and send updates to keep the neighborhood safe. Share goods and recommendations. Find a great babysitter or trusty dentist. Borrow a ladder or sell that old bookcase. Interesting.
What it is you have to actually build it, though. But it gives you tools in which to do it. Let me explain what I mean by this. Every month, you can mail out 100 postcards directly from here. Like, so far, I've mailed out 200 postcards from the site to my neighbors. So what this does, though, and you can print out flyers saying to join it and just walk around and hand out flyers and stuff.
Right.
So what you could do, in essence, and again, I spend all my weekends down with Lucas, so I can't do this one. I'm doing enough. I can only do what, like, the postcard stuff. I can't walk around and hand them out yet. And if I walked around to the doors that actually got the postcard, I can say, hey, I'm the one that gave you they sent you guys the postcard. Here's a flyer in case you didn't do it. You know, we're building the neighborhood. You only need like so many, but you got to hit numbers. Like, you got to make sure that there's more neighbors getting into the site.
Right.
But it gives you some tools to do, or the thing will just expire. But I haven't made it expire.
It looks pretty interesting.
It's,
I'm not signing up for it right now.
I'm not telling you to do that or anything like that. I'm just explaining like if we're going to use social media to network with your neighbors, this is how you would do it. Yeah. I wouldn't even do too much politic talking on here, to be honest with you.
No, you use it to get to know your neighbors, and then when you have one-on-one situations, you talk to them about it.
Yeah, when you go walk in another capacity and you go, oh, yeah, I'm the guy on the next door. Yeah, here's my stuff. But they're going to look like, well, you don't ever post any of that stuff online. But then they'll go look somewhere else, like on Facebook, and they'll find you if they want to find you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't post any of that stuff there. I do garage sales and,
right.
Maybe a neighborhood barbecue. Or if Eric comes over, I'm going to introduce like the permaculture class or something. Nothing politically related. But food stuff, that would be fair.
Unless
fair
it's
game.
local, maybe. You wouldn't even talk about what's going on locally here in your neighborhood and in your city and in your county.
If I found something, if it hit a certain level, yeah. But not all the time, though, because you could put something in every day if you wanted to. So it would be like, maybe. Actually, let me take that back. I would put the meeting times for the county commission and for the
city council.
City council. Just put in the very generic, like on PasketballP.org. It's actually set up exactly that way, where it's just the basic information about that. Like I put them on Pascal. Maybe I'm doing that actually. So just to inform you of what's going on in what's going on with local government, whichever way you feel about the issues. This is what's going on. There's a meeting at this time.
That'd be awesome.
I don't put any politics with it. Just
right. No, just tell them. I mean, it's good for people to show up to those meetings regardless.
Yeah.
To see what's going on. That's part of our problem. Not enough people are involved in their government. They're not paying attention.
That's a good idea. Oh, it's just more work to do now. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, I can do it. Maybe find a way to link it. Maybe find a way to link it though. No, it'd be a good place to put it though. What I would really love, and this is the next technology I'd like to see, would be something to where. This is funny. I'm sorry. Is this a good show or is it a train wreck?
You're being you, you're being Danielle, so there's nobody to be you, and I'm sitting here thinking of all the shit to say, and I can't say any of it, and I'm gonna...
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
More people would come if you had punch and pie.
Hold on, say that again. More people would come if you had pumpkin pie?
Punch and pie. More people would come if you had punch and pie.
Oh, okay. That's a good point, by the way. Thank you. South Park. Pumpkin. I know I like South Park, but I don't even get the reference. I'm sorry. I feel bad right now.
That's from South Park, the movie, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it is.
It's almost like we're on Rush and Snurdly's talking.
Right. we should almost put her on a microphone.
If you want to, man, go ahead. Bring it. But at any rate, this thing is cool, though. Like, it shows me the neighbors that even showed up, by the way. Like, I know which houses have neighbors that have signed up.
So
Do you need a lighter?
No, I have a lighter. It's just... these damn government regulated, mandated.
Oh, I know. What a bunch of
cigarettes.
You know what? That really does suck too, though.
Man, fuck those guys.
Exactly.
Fuck you, you fucking fuck.
It is very funny, though. This neighborhood thing is really funny. And it doesn't really do your precinct either. It just does your neighborhood, though. But I think you might be able to get more done even if you focus just that smaller.
Can't you make it big enough to cover your precinct?
You can move it around a little bit, but every time I tried to do it, it messed it up real bad. So I kind of just left it at, it came with the frame. Be honest with you, it seemed like enough, though, because it's like a big, like I live on, if you look at the way these houses are set up, they're pretty big blocks. So, like, it would work out okay, but you'd only want to take a couple to start off with and then kind of expand it out from there.
Right. You want to at least get it started before you expand it.
It looks like maybe 200. It looks like maybe 500 homes. I think that's what it looks like to me. It's 500 homes.
Would that be about the size of your district?
Size of the precinct? No.
Precinct?
Well, you got to figure, even if you double up on the homes, which is probably it's around 2 average right now, if it's 500 homes, 1,000 people, 2,400 in the precinct. So
Okay.
there's another one that looks
So
just
it's about twice that.
well, and it's all set up way differently than this too, though. Like it's not set up the same way. And I don't even know how many of these people are actually registered voters too, because it might even be lower numbers than that. Because you got to figure there's a felon factor. It's Pasco, And I'm not even saying that to talk trash, man. I love fucking Pasco County. I love Pasco, but you got to call a spade a spade. Hold on, I've knocked doors in Pasco. Hey, don't get me wrong. There's neighborhoods in Pinellas that got a high felon factor. I've walked a couple of them, so I know where they're at. But you get that. Hey, are you registered to vote? I can't vote, man. Oh, what's happened? Oh, I'm a registered felon. I have a line for those people from now on.
What's that?
I didn't tell you that.
Oh, I think I heard you. Yeah.
We were out
2 weeks
walking.
ago. Yeah. Go ahead. Say your line.
Well, the line is that the Libertarian Party of Florida is looking to try to ensure that you get your voting rights back. That we think that as if you've done your time and you've done your crime, then you should just automatically get your voting rights back. You shouldn't have to go back and reapply for them and stuff like that. Right. Like you've done the crime, you're an American citizen. They didn't deport you. So you should be allowed to vote.
Yep.
At a minimum.
I agree. I'll use that line.
Yeah.
It's true.
And to be honest with you, but we've done some stuff with the party. I mean, there's some bills and stuff like that are out there. But honestly, and I don't even know how big of an issue that is for, I don't know what percentage of the population that really affects. I don't think it's that high, to be honest with you, though. I think it's I think it might be 10%, though. And
it's probably difficult to get anything to move on that issue because the people who want that to happen can't vote.
That's true. But you know what, though? No, absolutely, by the way. Hold on, that's a good point, though. But here's the other thing, though. You're knocking on doors anyway. When you see one of these guys, this is what you say. That person will know that party believes in that. He's got a wife. He's got other kids. He's got other people that he talks to. He's going to be a voice that will speak well of the Libertarian Party, considering that we're the only party that really gives a shit about that.
Right.
Having another voice out there, talking to people like positive reinforcement, ain't a bad thing.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, it's a convicted felon too, so maybe he's not the best voice in the world, but And that's not to say they're even bad people, by the way.
Do you know anybody that's not a convicted felon that can vote?
Well, people look down on that, though. I don't. I mean, I look at the person. Look, there's people that were convicted felons that I would trust more than people that go to church sometimes.
Absolutely.
Oh,
the most dangerous criminals wear 3-piece suits. Make no mistake about it.
Or robes.
True. Well,
I
try not to bring up the religion thing too much.
I know.
But absolutely.
Wow.
Well, I firmly believe that religion is more difficult than political parties to overcome, and that it always has more control than any political power.
Oh, yeah, because you can't fight that, man.
There's nothing more influential than God and
people that
are
people that are believers are believers.
Yeah.
And that's what. Here's the thing. In all honesty, I don't necessarily have a problem with that per se. Only when that claimed belief, though, is something that is, wrong. Like look, if you want to believe that certain things are wrong, like homosexuality or something like that, if you want to think that's wrong because of your religion, I'm not going to argue with you about that. You're free to think whatever you want to think. Whether I agree with you is irrelevant. I don't agree with you, but even if I did, it's irrelevant. You just can't infringe on everybody else with that. Like, your religion is your religion. It's not anybody else's. And you can hold meetings and you can say, pray the gay away or whatever. Like, you can do camps. You can advertise that stuff if you want to and do whatever you want to do. Just don't make a law.
Exactly.
Don't make any laws about that. Just stay out of that stuff.
That's the problem. That's not what happens.
Yeah.
Religion does take political power. They do take control. That's part of why we have no state-sponsored religion in this country, because our founding fathers saw. That was part. There were three things that they were fighting against, and they were talked out of fighting the third power, which is now one of the big problems we face. But they were faced with the royalty, the king. They were faced with the Church of England, and the corporation, the East India Trading Company. Those were the three problems that the founders, the colonies, had with Great Britain.
Yeah.
And they were wise enough to keep the church from taking control, like the Church of England has over there. They were wise enough to keep royalty from forming, which doesn't seem to have worked now because our current president is acting like a king. But they didn't stop the corporations, which Thomas Jefferson wanted to do in Alexander Hamilton's camp. It was basically split into two camps, and Alexander Hamilton's camp talked everybody out of putting in anything that was going to prevent the corporations from having any control.
Yeah.
Because everybody figured, well, let the states handle it. So, it kind of went through that way. But, they knew that religion was too powerful and churches were too powerful, and you can't let them have control, because then they're going to dictate what's going to happen, and you don't have a say.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, because in a weird way, I don't want to say I'm going to flip the script on it, but I'm going to kind of flip the script on it. And here's what I mean by that. Do you think that the founders of this country believed that religion had a role to play in the future of this country, though? That's a different question. But do you think that the founders at the time viewed religion and viewed the church as having a vital role in the country, even though it wasn't something that, we're not saying that they're making a law, but churches do a lot more than that. Do you see that there was something that they thought that the churches and religion should be doing?
Absolutely. That's clear from a lot of what they wrote.
What?
Well, I think what they believed, and what a lot of people still believe, is that religion is where people get their moral compass from. So they think that having that is important, and I think that having a moral compass is important, but it doesn't necessarily have to come from religion. It's clear that they believe, most of them. There's speaking of the founding fathers and thinking there was consensus, it's just not the case. But so there's some dissent here, but for the most part, they clearly thought that belief in God or a higher power and having leadership of a moral compass based on religion was a good thing, and that it was good for the country.
Okay. So maybe I got to ask the question in a different way, because you kind of gave it an answer, but it's not the answer that I was actually going down the road for. But it was a good answer, though, but it's just I'm thinking of it in a different way, and I want to explain what I mean by that. They had a specific role to play in the country, though, a vital role, and this is what I think is the vital role that they had to play.
I think I know what road you're going down and what you were looking for. I was speaking in a more general way, but
I got you.
I think they also had a role to play in local churches in their community and what churches do for the community.
Bingo.
And bringing the community together and helping each other.
Yeah. Being the primary focus when it came to the indigent and to the handicapped and to the poor and to the downtrodden but the thing is, and at least in my opinion of it, I think that the founders, I think there's an inherent, I hate to say genius to it because I hate to say it that way because it does seem like it's a little mischievous at the same time too. And the mischievous part is this, like, let's say if you're down on your luck, then there are places that you can go, and there's going to be many religious and some non-religious ones that you can go to and to get help, right? But like, let's say you go to a religious one and you go to get help, right? Well, look, they're going to help you even if you don't find Jesus or whatever. You know what I mean? And they're going to be helpful to just anybody walking in for the most part. Most of these churches are like that. I'm sure there's some examples of where this hasn't happened, but for the most part, the churches will take care of people as they come in. But that gives them their opportunity to say, hey, man, you should find Jesus.
Right.
Obviously, you're not making it very well in this life without finding Jesus. We're going to help you get back on your feet, but we're going to offer you Jesus real quick. You ain't got to take it, but we're just going to we're going to offer it to you. I think that in society, that's actually a good thing. Because of the fact that, well, it's good that people have faith and they have a moral compass and all that kind of stuff. It makes them better people in life. Sometimes people just need to be kind of educated on the right ways. And here's the thing. We're not going to force anybody to be educated. But if you get down on your luck, we're going to offer it to you. I mean, you could say no, but we're going to offer it to you because you might need it. And some people do. Some people find Jesus and live extraordinary lives and, love things if they want to. Hey, look, I'm not here to...
I think the problem
I'm not here to judge.
Who's to say that these people who need help don't already believe in Jesus and haven't already found Jesus?
They might. Here's the thing. They might already be there. So, and that's even cooler, by the way. But I'm saying this gives the church that opportunity to kind of, talk to the person, talk to the young lad. We'll give you stuff. We'll give you food. We'll give you... And you're going to be grateful and thankful that you're getting food and stuff, by the way. But it's done by the local community. Like, I have no say-so in what it is going to be. I think a bunch of atheists would get together and make an atheist one where we're not going to talk about religion. We're just going to talk about you being a good person and basically say a lot of good stuff about how you as an individual and be a good person and stuff.
Well, what they do is they get the government to do it for them.
That's the thing. And that's the crap of it, is that don't you want the churches doing that? Like, isn't Social Security... It always sounds weird to say it this way. Isn't Social Security the problem when it comes to society, that you want multiple generations together, that separating them out and using the Social Security system in order to do something like that, which is exactly what you did? Like, isn't that just... You're robbing future generations is what you're doing with that, with the unintended consequence of not having multiple generations in a home. Sometimes you got the mom living, grandma was living at the house, or... grandpa and grandma were living at the house or whatever. It's not everybody that does it, but some people will have, their grandparents at their house. You've screwed stuff up so bad that it's actually going the other way around.
Well, there's a lot of factors that lead to that. I wouldn't say that it's the government's fault that families have broken up and you don't have 3 generations in a home anymore. There's a lot of factors.
No. I think you misunderstand what I mean by that. They shipping them to old age homes instead of leaving them in the house. You have old age homes filled with old people. Now, I know it sounds weird. You're like, oh, yeah, what's wrong with that? You got a bunch of... That's where they want to go. No,
people don't want to go. My mom has told me she would kill me if I sent her to a home, and I believe it.
My mom's the same way, And my grandma and grandpa actually still live. My grandpa's in not in good shape, but now my up north, they did put her to a home eventually, but I just look at it like you're robbing. There's so many people that are just old people just sitting in old age homes right now, just waiting to die. Right. I mean, I don't even hate to say it in such a bad way. I mean, they're having fun while they're there, but it ain't like you're going to move in 6 months somewhere else. Like you're in. This is it, man. This is where you're going to be.
I couldn't see doing that.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Any of my family, unless it's like a medical situation. Like if they needed medical care that I could not provide, if I had to stay home with them and there were things that needed to be done that I couldn't handle.
No, at that point you got to do that. No, at that point you do that.
But just because they're old and you don't want to deal with them, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, some people do though.
Yeah.
I think it's another problem in society, and I do blame Social Security for some of that, though. I know it sounds weird. Maybe I'm not even explaining it correctly, but
I'm not going to say I disagree with you, but I need you to connect the dots for me.
Why is
Social, Social Security responsible? Because they make just enough money to stick them in a home.
Why is Social Security responsible? Why is Social Security responsible? Why is Social Security responsible? Because they make just enough money to stick them in a home. Why is Social Security responsible? Because they make just enough money to stick them in a home.
Okay.
where you ain't got to pay for
They
them.
because they don't have anything else. They're living only on Social Security.
A lot of these people
they can't afford to live on their own, but they can afford to live in a home. So people end up living in a home because Social Security can cover that.
Yeah. I know it's a weird unintended consequence of it, and it probably was not even maybe it was imagined. I don't even know, but it's one of those unintended consequences of it. At least in my opinion. I mean, I could be dead wrong on that, but
I would say that it's possibly an unintended consequence of Social Security, and maybe opportunists jumping on it.
oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
and that's
would
the
have
thing.
no opportunity for an opportunist though had that not been there though.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Here's the other thing.
I'm not disagreeing with
The
you.
way
It's
that
just-
I'm talking about the way that they do it now, right? You always hear the story about that one county in Texas that opted out, right?
right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I forget the name of the county right now. But there's one county in America. You never hear about this on the news, by the way. Never. Totally true, though. One county in Texas opted out of Social Security. There was a loophole at the time. It was a long, long time ago, and they opted out. Every person there is worth millions of dollars. When they get old, they're millions of dollars. Because they still have to save money, though. So they do make you save money still. You still got to contribute. But you're contributing to your own fund, though. And you get to keep all the money. You don't give it to anybody else. And they're all worth millions after that. Even when the attempt was made to do that, which was supposed to be in the 2000s, that couldn't get any backing whatsoever. So giving you the opportunity to save your money with money they were going to already take, they were just going to go privatize. Like some of it would be an account in your name because they like to give you one of those things like this is the account in your name and how much money you've given and stuff. That's the wrong way. Look, that's how much money I should have right there is the amount you've taken. You know what I mean? And it's growing, it's investing, it's worth more money at the end of it. But they're not doing that shit. They're like, well, if something happens to you at 65, you know, as long as you live till 65, at that point, or we'll start giving you some of your money back, about $1,000 a month. You know, but we've been holding on to that shit for like 50 years. It should be worth 10 times that amount of money, but it's not because you fuckers can't. You've been robbing the shit for the whole fucking. You've been robbing the piggy bank the whole fucking time.
Well, it wasn't until LBJ came along and made
It was a
legal.
Democrat that changed it to fuck this shit up, by the way.
Yeah. LBJ is totally responsible for the problems with Social Security. When he made it possible for the government to take no interest loans and use it for the general fund, that's when Social Security got broken because now they take the money. It's not gaining the interest that it's supposed to be gaining in the accounts that it's supposed to be in. The government takes a no interest loan out of Social Security and pays it back without the interest. And now
To funds more government programs.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Like they're literally.
And they never talk about that either.
Yeah. And they're getting no money back on the loans. Like you American people, we've stole your money. We're not giving you anything on the loans. Here, think about it like this too. Though they talk about, well, I put in this amount of money, and you know this is, you know, but you're only getting such a little bit amount back, right? Think about all those people that die before fucking 65, and that give money forever and get nothing. There's a lot of people that fit in that position. That if you die before 65, you fit in that position, obviously. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck you. And then most of the time you live till you're about 70, 72 years old, depending on, how rough your life was or whatever. Some people get in their 80s and more people are getting in their 80s now, but it's not always the case right now. A lot of people die out at about 70. So all that time, all you got was 3 years off.
Yeah.
You would have been worth millions had they let you keep the money.
Yep.
Millions. And here's the thing. If I think we should change because we agree that we should change the program. We're the assholes.
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Man, fuck those guys.
How do you've been, you know what it is? They can't admit they've been robbed.
Yeah. No, well, they don't know. And here's the great thing. So I went ahead and did a search because I had heard about that a while ago about there's actually 3 Texas counties that opted out of Social Security.
Ooh. Do tell, Greg.
Well, I pulled up a Forbes article on it, and here's a little piece from it. Galveston, Matagorda and Brazoria County employees, many of them union members, have seen their retirement savings grow every year, even during the Great Recession. If state and local governments and Congress are really looking for a path to long-term sustainable entitlement reform, they might start with what is referred to as the alternate plan, which is what's going on here in these 3 counties. So obviously they have a better plan.
That's working.
Yeah, that's working
In the
for them.
United States.
Yeah, and in this recession where everybody's losing their money, they're all doing well.
To show you just how in the bag the media is for what's currently going on right now, it is a travesty that not every... Hey, man, do me a favor, man. Would you link that article, man? You like, favorite it and Facebook it and tweet it and... do all your things with it?
Tweet
like,
it.
can you get it to a point where I can see it somewhere?
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send it to you in a message here. So you will have this article. You know what this reminds me of, though? This is like the Social Security argument version of... One of my favorite things is the gun control debate, taking Kennesaw, Georgia, who made it mandatory for every home to own a gun after, I think it was... Oak Grove, Illinois, or something, had banned guns in their town, and now Kennesaw, Georgia, crime rates dropped. People are moving to the town. It's prospering, and it's completely the opposite in the other town. You know, everybody's leaving. Crime rates skyrocketing, and so it's something that no one talks about, but it's a true example of how what they're telling us and what they're trying to do is wrong, and what we're saying is what actually works.
And they're robbing these people.
They're robbing these people.
Like, here's the thing. Think about it like this. You put in so much in Social Security, right? For your job. Your employer puts in the same amount for you. It matches. Your percentage and their percentage matches.
Yeah.
What if you got all that money in a bank account instead, and just said you can't touch the shit first? You know, it's real restricted stuff. Now, I disagree with the stuff even being real restricted, but again, look, I'll go down the road that people are not necessarily there yet and responsible enough. Okay, I'll go with that. Be honest with you, I'd just let people opt out. Maybe there's Plan B and opt out. You get 2 things.
Right.
I'm good with that. Again, let people choose. Just Plan B or
how
opt
about
out.
some fucking freedom?
Yeah. How about a little
The freedom to choose something.
Yeah.
Instead of being told.
I think when Ron Paul came out and he said, just let people opt out of Social Security, I think that's the great thing to say. I think that you do. You show this. Look, you should. I'm really surprised that we haven't had somebody that just ran on this. Like, there's nobody that even runs on this, though, is there?
Not that I know of.
Have you ever seen a congressperson run on this?
No. Well,
we should get Lucas to run on this. We should ask Lucas if he would run. I wonder what his opinion is on this. We should ask him.
We definitely should.
We could call him right now, see if he's up. No, we can't do that. That would be rude. He might even be listening, going, "You can call if you want." Hold on. Oh, we got to give the numbers. Hang on. If you want to call, though, the number is the studio line, 1-800-525-4032. Refresh Telecom lines, 1-800-525-4032.
Well, we're 1 minute from break.
Oh, we got to take a break? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's take a break. No, we are smoking, so it doesn't matter. Even though I wouldn't mind getting a drink right now, though.
Right.
We can do like one song or something. Oh, no, let's do a...
I'd like to
interview.
pee.
You want to pee?
I want to pee.
Oh, go ahead. You're good, man. You're good. I appreciate it, though. Thank you for sharing. You know, if you wiggle it more than twice, you're playing with it, just so you know. I guess it really didn't work for women, does it? I'm sorry. Never
Different
mind.
equipment.
Never mind. Different equipment. You're right. Different equipment. Yeah. What can you do?
My goodness.
It happens. And you know what? I am really curious why you don't ever have anybody running on this. You never hear about it either.
Do we have any new interviews up?
I don't think I have anything new up for the week now.
Okay.
I think I got a new rant up, maybe. No. We already... Did we play both rants? I think we played both rants. You can go back to that rant if you want to. Hey, go
David Jolly?
The 30. How long is the 30,000 one?
522.
You think we can get it done in 5 minutes?
We can.
Well, here's the thing. All we got to do is just wait for. We got to just walk out for a second. We can, go do our thing, get a drink, and then come back in. Well, you already got your drink here, so are we good with just 5-minute break?
Yeah, and it'll run into the next. If we run it over that,
It'll run into the next one?
next interview.
Okay.
So we might play the FDA thinks you are too stupid to know your genome information.
Oh, we should play that one first. Even though it's older, it's still a good one though. How long is that one?
4:52.
Oh, we need a little more time than that. All right, let's go to the other one.
Well, Scott opposes medical marijuana initiative. How about we play both?
Okay,
This one and
I'm down.
Okay.
You do what you got to do. You figure. I don't know what's going on over there. So again, we'll be back in one, maybe two. I'm going to try to work for one though. I really am going to work for one. So, and again, if anybody's listening, man, seriously, thanks.
And call.
Yeah, call if you want to. 1-800-525-4032. 1-800-525-4032. Refresh Telecom. They won't give your information to the feds without a search warrant. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Alex Snicker with Alex's latest rant. This one has to do with a company called 23andMe and the FDA. You could better title this, Just More Proof That the Government Thinks You're Too Stupid to Know Information About Yourself. What has happened, in case you didn't know, is that there's a company called 23andMe. What they make is a $99 kit. They do a genome service. You spit into a little cup, you send it back to them, and they send you back information about yourself. There's genetic markers to show if you're more susceptible to certain kinds of illnesses or disease, or if you carry certain traits that you'd be able to pass along to future generations. Now, this information is for informational purposes only, and it's based off of science. So you would think that the FDA would not have any problem with something like this. Again, it's not like a pill you're going to take. They're just going to give you information about yourself. But the FDA, and this rant would probably be better titled, that more proof that the government thinks you're too stupid to know anything about yourself. The FDA has decided that they want to actually just go ahead and bar these guys from ever being able to do this service ever again, because they haven't kissed the right ring on the FDA finger in order to make sure that they can continue working this service. But more importantly, this is more proof that the government really does think you are too stupid to know any different. Wouldn't it be a good idea if you knew that you were more susceptible to certain illnesses or certain diseases, so you could go to your doctor, make sure that you're eating the right way to minimize the risk in your own life? Wouldn't that actually lower healthcare costs by having this information? No. Not in the FDA's infinite wisdom. The FDA understands, or at least they think they understand, and they want to make sure that you understand that there is no way that you should actually be getting any of this information whatsoever. And then unless some government-approved agency has the information, then we should ban it altogether. Again, this is authoritarian psychopaths that are in these places like the FDA that want to make sure that you just don't have this information whatsoever. They're anti-science is what they are. But let me say it another way. If they feed you the information, then they're going to expect you to believe it hook, line, and sinker. But if you go and research it yourself, well, then you're just an idiot. As a matter of fact, the FDA thinks that anybody that goes to the 23andMe is basically an idiot, that you have the idiot gene. Well, I got news for you. What you probably don't have is the authoritarian psychopath gene that our current government has for you. And this goes from Obama on down. You got to remember, the FDA is filled with people that have been there for a long time. But before they were there, they were actually working for pharmaceutical companies or other kinds of big government or big business agencies, and they just move back and forth, furthering that government, big business, and big government are one and the same, and that does have bipartisan support, unfortunately for us, the citizens of this country. So let me make sure that you understand correctly. And we'll do another rant at a later day to show you why that the Food and Drug Administration has actually killed more people in this country than it has ever saved in this country. But that's a totally different argument for a different day. For this one, the FDA says you should not be able to have this information, and that they will ban it with the threat of going to jail if you disobey them. Again, more Big Brother, just making sure that you're just well taken care of. Because you are too stupid to know this information. When you talk to people in your livelihood and you're talking to people politically, and they start talking about how, well, the government should be doing this and the government should be doing this, the one thing that you want to start asking them or get them to the point of saying is to get them to say that they think that you're too stupid to know this information. Now, they're never going to insult you personally. What they're going to do is they're going to say, well, I'm not really talking about you. I'm talking about all those other people that are out there. We need to make this law to protect all of those other people out there. Just remember, those other people mean you when you're not there. Because many Democrats and even some Republicans think that you are too stupid. Again, you are too stupid to know this information. But trust these guys with your healthcare, folks, because they're not going to mess this one up. These guys couldn't put a website up, and they had $100 million. Who's the stupid ones now? Listen to more of Alex's rants and all other types of articles at 1787network.com. I hope you all have a great Alex Snicker, 1787network.com. Today's rant. Governor Rick Scott says he'll vote against the medical marijuana ballot initiative. This came out from the Associated Press. Republican Governor Rick Scott on Tuesday said he will vote against a proposed constitutional amendment to allow the medical use of marijuana if it makes the 2014 ballot. This is a quote from his spokeswoman. I have a great deal of empathy for people battling difficult diseases, and I understand arguments in favor of this initiative. But having seen the terrible effects of alcohol and drug abuse firsthand, I cannot endorse sending Florida down this path, and I would personally vote against it. Well, Rick Scott, here's the facts. First off, marijuana on a medical basis has been proven, now again, proven to be successful in many kinds of diseases. What they're trying to get away from is the pharmaceutical industry that you actually have a monetary stake in. So your whole thing of I have a great deal of empathy for people battling difficult diseases is a lie. You don't care about people battling difficult diseases, because if you did, then you would understand what this ballot initiative is actually all about. Now, full disclosure, I'm a person that advocates for full legalization. But in this one, we're talking about medical marijuana. Now, where is the stats on this? Where is the public on this debate? Well, between 65 and 80% of people actually support medical marijuana. Let me say that again. 65 to 80% of the people support medical marijuana. That includes Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Libertarians, whoever, they support the issue. So what's Rick Scott's choice? He says, no, I'm going to vote against it. Now here's a little bit more information for you as well. There's actually a bill in Tallahassee right now called the Kathy Jordan Medical Marijuana Act. This bill would get it onto the ballot and would actually stop the Democrats from being able to use this as the political football that they're currently using it as right now. Ambulance chaser John Morgan, who is now the chairman of United for Care, which was formerly Puffum, is in charge of what is going on with United for Care. Now, John Morgan himself could give a crap less about people and being sick or anything like that. He is only using this as a political football to try to get his employee, Charlie Crist, elected into the governorship. We have two bad guys, or actually three bad guys if you want to call it. The ambulance chaser, John Morgan, the political weather vane, Charlie Crist, who is the former Republican governor, and the current Republican governor, Rick Scott. Three people that are definitely not people you'd want to invite over for dinner, and definitely that you wouldn't want to share a bong with. But again, this issue has 80% support, and the Republicans in Tallahassee could actually stop John Morgan from using this as the political football that it is. Do they want to do that? No, they don't want to do that. Not at all. What they want to do is send out their blonde bombshell Pam Bondi to go out there and try to stop it from getting onto the ballot. Because if there's anything that Republicans hate more than anything else, it is allowing you, the public, to actually make a decision as to what kind of medicine you should be putting into your bodies. At least the Republicans in Tallahassee. Because like I said earlier, the majority of the Republican voters actually support medical marijuana. But again, like any tone-deaf politician, Rick Scott could give a crap less about what you think you should be putting into your body, and he just loves using the force of government to make sure that he gets his way and he can stop you from doing what you want. There's only one choice in this election, folks. WileyForGovernor.com, because the ambulance chaser's employee, Charlie Crist, the former Republican governor, and the current Republican governor, Rick Scott, who's bought and paid for by Big Pharma, are not worthy of your support. This is Alex Snicker, 1787network.com. Have a great day.
That's just awesome.
That's a good time. I didn't even write. I wasn't even reading anything when I did that one. God, man, it's just good, man. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it works out well. I'm coining that term, by the way. The ambulance chaser's employee.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
That's awesome. Are we going to introduce our in-studio guest that's now on camera?
Should we? Hey, do you want a fake name or a real name?
Fake.
Fake name. All right. I'm gonna think of a name real quick though. Hold on, let me think. It's gonna be a normal name though. And the first conversation is gonna be why you picked this name though. But you know what I'm always thinking right now? I'm always thinking Veronica.
Veronica.
Yeah, I like Veronica. We'll go with that. Only one name, Veronica. That's it.
Okay.
I grew up with Archie comics. I'm good with Veronica.
I'm going with Veronica on that one.
Better than Betty.
Oh, yeah.
Not if there's anything wrong with Betty, by the way. It's just
Apparently Archie didn't have a problem with either of them.
there you go. Hey, if you're Archie, would you? You know,
Right.
do what you got to do, man. You know. So how are you doing, Heather?
I am here to save you.
Oh, that's so funny. That's too. I'm sorry. I didn't
really,
even do
really
that on purpose.
appreciate-
I didn't even do that on purpose,
Actually-
Veronica.
Well, how many times has my name been said on air anyway?
Yeah.
No, that's true, by the way. But that's okay, though. You know what? Here's the thing, though. But now we're gonna go back with the Veronica because that was. I need a mulligan on that. I need a mulligan on that. So you got to save the show, though. Hey, please do, man, because we're drowning.
Well, it's just that everybody has their role to play, and you do yours very well, and
Greg does.
Danielle does hers very well, and Greg does his very well. But tonight, Greg is doing Danielle's, and so there's no one to be Greg, and so I'm here to say, fuck those guys.
Well, I hear you.
There
You know what it is, though? A 2-person show and a 3-person show, what I've noticed is there's a different dynamic in any of the 3 that you actually do. Because we've done shows with, different people. And even we used to do 4. And it is a different show when you have all those people there.
Yeah.
Each show's different in that aspect, at least the way that I've typically seen we've done the shows. Even though I still do a bunch of the talking, it's because I'm a loudmouth asshole, though. So,
It's difficult to silence you. That's for sure.
I ain't fucking kidding about that. Sure, there's a lot of people like to do that. Shut up already.
Yes. There are a lot of people out there, I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah. Take a number.
Take a number. I'm sure there's people right outside this door that would like that. Once in a while, just shut up.
That's what they say to Mikey all the time. Well, they're allowed to say it to him. They can't say it to me, though.
Well, they know it's going to do
Well, it's not going to do anything. Yeah. I guess I've said it before, maybe a couple times. I can't believe we actually started at the president's speech and got to Social Security, by the way, and didn't even mention any of the stuff he had going on with it.
Well, it was pointless. I mean, his speech, he made it clear. He's just going to rule by dictate.
Yeah, and I'll just nullify. my
He's
example.
a dictator, and he's the same thing without the tater.
Yeah. I'm not getting your health insurance. I'm not signing up for your shit. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to try and nullify as much as I possibly can until we have enough people to vote people out of office. And when I'm talking about you people, I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans. So don't even try to think it's a racist black joke. You people as politicians. I'm talking about you freaking authoritarian psychopaths in Washington, D.C. and in half the cities in this freaking country. People should be in jail. We get the wrong people in jail. Like I said, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We need to release all the non-violent drug offenders for 2 reasons. 1, because we just shouldn't have them in jail. And 2, we need all the room for the politicians we can get.
Yep.
It's either that or we're going French.
Which always worries me when we talk about going that route.
I hope it don't. I'm going to work every day to make sure it don't, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop it. I've talked to too many people. It ain't me. It ain't me. You shouldn't be worried about me. I'm trying to be the calming influence out there. I'm not riling them up. I'm just getting them to vote.
Exactly.
You're pissing them off. Don't blame me when you piss them off.
Well,
they ain't mad at my policies.
Well, see, that's kind of how I feel about the security, like the Secret Service and all the security that has to be given to the politicians. How about try this? You guys stop doing things that make people want to fucking shoot you. And you won't have to worry about all this
People wanting to shoot you.
It's pretty simple.
I don't even understand how they can't see. Like when they get out of the way, they see that things actually will work. You know, he was blaming the Republicans on the government shutdown and stuff. Okay, what the hell did that do? In all reality, how did the government shutdown change your life one iota?
Zero.
Pretty much zero, right? Now, there's a lot of people that it affected. Mm-hmm. Most of them work for the government.
Yeah.
Pardon me if I don't feel bad about that. You work for the government, for Pete's sake. Most of you people shouldn't have the jobs you have right now, or you should be getting paid in the private sector. Teachers.
Well, they can't, because in the private sector, there's no one on the payroll that's a non-essential employee.
Well, I'm not even in that area of government.
See, that's the thing. When the government shuts down, the first people that are laid off or furloughed is the non-essential employees. Well,
the hell are you doing there?
Running a business, what's a non-essential employee?
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand that's not on the payroll.
I can understand a core team and stuff like that. But the thing is this, though. They're way too big already. Exactly. And it's not like those government institutions are going to go away locally, by the way. That's the other thing, is a total misnomer. They're like, well, the federal government will take care of it, then the local government doesn't have to. That's kind of BS, though. Like, in that kind of scale for what you need government to do in reality, it's kind of BS. You know, you need the sheriff. So I'll go with the sheriff. You need, to have the sheriff there, right? Enough deputies to be able to run the area, you know what I'm saying? To be able to, per population, you have so many, police officers. And I think there's a number there. I don't know exactly what that number is, but there's a number there, right? But they're all back to being peace officers, though. Like, you ought to change the name. Go back to being peace officers, and that's their job. And their job in life is to, look, if somebody's infringing on the rights of another, you stop that stuff. Other than that, look, man, you're not there you're there to go play catch with people sometimes.
You're there to police the community.
Yeah.
And make sure nobody's infringing on the rights of others, like you said.
Yeah.
It's simple.
I'll go with fire. Look, again, I'm not an anarchist, so I'll go with the fire department. You need a fire department. Okay. And you can have cities that have fire departments, and the county has a fire department. That's fine, too. I don't care. If your city wants to do that, your city, because my city, the city of Newport Ridge, has a fire department. I'm glad they do. I'm okay with that. Locally, I think that if you want your tax dollars, if you want your tax dollars going to that, great. What I was against, though, was the 6 Victory freaking motorcycles that they freaking use with the penny for Pasco money for the damn sheriff's office. What the fuck you need motorcycles like that for? Who the hell you people think you are? You got tanks, motorcycles. What's this? Are you starting Road Warrior?
They're prepared for the apocalypse.
They are preparing. That's absolutely freaking true. How scary?
They're prepared. Are we?
Yeah, we got a long ways to go. So we're trying to wake everybody else up to be like, look, man, they're getting ready to, you see what's coming here. You're going to start rioting and getting pissed off, and they got some weapons to fight you with.
Yeah.
What we should be informing people. Yeah. If people, and I don't lead with that at a door, but if I'm talking to somebody that's kind of already awake a little bit, yeah, you know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Normally they tell us. I've had people, you ever had that?
Yeah.
Where people come to you and be like, oh, yeah, you should hear that. Why are they buying that many millions of rounds? They're buying it for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to say even right there. Like, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Vote for Wiley. He won't do that.
Yeah.
So, it's all back to that. It's amazing, though. You know what it is, though? You know what we really advocate for? Like, think about it. What do you really advocate for? Just get to know your neighbors.
I advocate for leaving me alone. That's why I'm a libertarian.
I'm so sorry. I'm with him.
I understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying.
I don't necessarily have to know my neighbors. I'll leave them alone if they leave me alone. If they're nice and they're people I want to get to know, that's fine. But hey, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. That's what it's all about.
I hear you, man.
I don't care what you're doing in your house. I don't care what you're smoking. what you're doing in your bedroom, what you're eating. I don't care. Drink as many big gulps of any size as you want. I don't care.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not my problem. Stay out of my house because what I'm doing ain't your problem either.
Yeah. No, that's all we should. No, and that's perfectly beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, I'm down. I'm down with the fire department and all that stuff. But
but what else?
Leave
you
my
need?
money alone.
Yeah. What else you need though? Yeah.
Stop bombing people.
Yeah.
Stop listening to my phone calls.
Exactly. Stop doing those things. And it's not even unreasonable to ask these things. Like, here's the thing. Quit going to so many damn wars. Stop. What do you do? When was the last needed war, really?
I'd say World War II. I mean, Hitler did have a plan to attack and take over the United States. He did want to. He did seek world domination and was going for it. So I mean,
and we were bombed in Pearl Harbor.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's an attack.
Yeah, I mean,
I tried to take out the fleet that way.
I mean, I understand the reservation of the country of not getting involved in World War II when it was just what was going on in Europe because coming out of World War I. But, I mean, there was legitimate reason for us to get involved. So, I mean, he did have plans to come after us. And, of course, the attack on Pearl Harbor was used to justify us getting into World War II. So, I mean, it was a war that we needed to be involved in. Yeah. That was the last war that we needed to be involved in. But the Korean War was a proxy war between the United States and China that we didn't have to be involved in at all.
That's true.
Same with Vietnam War. Didn't have to be involved in that at all.
What about Persian Gulf One? I mean, it's all our fault anyway, though, considering we're the one that propped up Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Once we get to this, what we're talking about now, this is the bed we made that we now have to lie in.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. I mean, we kind of have to be involved because we started it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. It amazes me that a guy like Rumsfeld is able to do what he's doing, considering they got pictures of him, shaking Saddam Hussein's hand.
I love posting that picture. Every once in a while, I'll post that picture on Facebook again just because I love that picture. I've probably got it saved on every electronic device I own. That picture of him shaking Saddam Hussein's hand is... I mean, that's what I hated about the interviews with him on TV, talking about Saddam Hussein and what a brutal madman he was. Bitch, you knew exactly who he was. He was an interrogator for the Republican Guard. He used to pull out people's fingernails with pliers and kill children in front of their parents to get information out of them. I mean, you knew who he was, and you put him in charge because he was going to play ball and he was going to do what needed to be done for you guys to have control.
Yeah, exactly right.
He was who he was. You knew who he was, and that's why he got the job.
Like, that's what pisses me off. It's like... And then when you say that, well, you're blaming America. No. I'm blaming Rumsfeld.
Yeah, I'm not blaming America. I didn't do it. You didn't do it. She didn't do it. Yeah. We did not do this. The assholes in charge did this.
Yeah. Now, it's the people you voted in, you dumbass, but...
It's my bad.
It's all your fault.
It's totally my fault.
Totally your fault, Veronica.
I'm so sorry.
Damn it, Veronica. Why would you do this? Cats and dogs living together in mass hysteria. So I went too quick on that. My apologies. Went too quick.
Yeah, but the Persian Gulf one, we kind of had to because it was our fault. We put this asshole in power, and everybody's kind of looking at us like, yeah, he's invaded them now. What you gonna do?
Yeah, but then, and even during that war, right? Again, I hate for it to be the Blame America show, but you got to look back at history and see what the hell you did wrong. This one, we go in and we invade, but then we back off. But we asked the people in the country that believed in what we believed in to rise up and fight them. So they go to start fighting these guys, right? And we're like, oh, yeah, we got your back. Oh, no, we're not going to.
Never mind,
we ain't got your back. So here's what happens, is that all those people die.
Yeah, they get slaughtered.
Everybody that's still living sees what the hell happened to those people, and then you wonder why people are trying to bomb you when you go back into that country.
Yeah.
You ain't got friends on either side.
Yeah, you screwed everybody in that
You don't
country.
look like the great liberators to the people that got people that died because you didn't do it the last time you said you were going to do it and didn't do it.
Yeah.
Now this time they actually did it, and they screwed it all up anyway, but just... we're making our own mistakes here, guys. Like, here's the thing. Our men and women fought bravely. I agree with you 110%. I think people did good things. I also think there was a lot of bad things that were done too. But for the most part, people served honorably.
Look, we
the
are
best
not
they could.
talking about the underwear periods.
Yeah. The underwear periods.
Pyramids. Pyramids.
Oh, the pyramids.
The
The pyramids. I want to talk about Egypt. Isn't that where the pyramids are at? There's no pyramids in Iraq, is there?
No, but there were.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's time for me to go sit back in the corner.
Oh, okay. That's all right, though. Look, if you want to contribute pyramids, then, let's talk about pyramids then.
No.
I like pyramids. I'm into pyramids, man. It's a good time.
If the words had come out of my mouth correctly, it would have made sense.
So you're saying,
what
like,
you
the
said
word
was so
pyramid
much
was
funnier.
not what you were going to say. you came on the mic and said, potato.
Totally did.
Backgammon.
Thomas Jefferson.
The Zinc Dynasty. Genghis Khan. Meatloaf.
Dancing space potatoes.
That, exactly.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
And Young.
Yeah.
I just used and Young, though. I got nothing else other than that.
The Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Not periods. Pyramids. The pictures.
The pictures of the
that
pyramids?
made the whole world hate. No, the guys. Guantanamo.
Oh, you mean the pictures?
Pyramids.
The
Oh,
underwear
yeah.
pyramids.
Underwear pyramids.
Oh, yeah. How crazy was that, by the
Except
way?
I said period, which
Oh, I got you. Now that makes sense now,
I mean
though.
I am on my period, so maybe that's
Well,
why that came out. That way,
Little
but-
TMI on that one, but we're all right with that.
Okay.
I mean, worried about the name and then saying that thing is, that's a whole different level. Now, I'm not saying me, by the way. I'm not judging. You do what you got to do.
You're the one that's sitting within arm's reach, so I'm, I'm not worried.
I don't even know what the hell that means. oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good point, by the way. I should watch out here.
I do have ovaries.
So the underwear pyramids. From
You
the
talk about
guys-
the pictures and those
the
pictures being
from the
so
guys
bad.
in,
Yeah.
in Abu Ghraib in Iraq,
Yes.
where
Now, let me ask you a question about that, by the way.
Because you were like, yes, bad things have happened, and
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. There's a whole
But
bunch
we're
of
not
bad
talking
things.
about the
But well, here's the thing, though. The majority of people that went over there, I mean, a lot of them didn't do some of the psychopathic things, especially the systematic ones like the torture areas. Like, that was something that was done by design. They totally, like the general, there's somebody up there that knew how to do that. It didn't take a whole lot of people to actually put those orders into place to make it like that. You know what I mean? Especially because those guys were getting bombed. And I mean, it's, when you go into war, that's the thing. That's why I say you got to have a foreign policy of sheeted glass. Because if we have to go to war, I think you go over there and you do everything you can. There's no peaceful solution. But we shouldn't have been in Iraq to begin with, though, so you shouldn't be doing that shit.
right.
You know?
You
And
can't glass them because we caused all this.
Yeah, it's our fault, man. I mean, again, it's always funny how you got to go back to friggin' 53, just like you got to go back to 13.
Yeah.
Because in 53, we started messing with this stuff in the beginning.
And it's so messed up because we got our dirty little fingers all over the world.
Yeah.
Because you get to Central and South America, and we've got a whole different section of history to talk about, and a whole bunch of other messes.
Now, let me ask you another question as it relates towards this, by the way. Do you take into account at that time the Cold War that was going on?
Well, you kind of have to, but do you let that excuse what went on?
No.
Do you let that excuse the proxy wars?
No.
Right? Do you let that excuse all the things that the government did for decades?
No.
With that as an excuse.
No, I don't think any of it is an excuse, by the way. I'm just saying, Look, I'm not going to argue with you of the reasons why these stupid decisions were made,
Right.
but they were dumb. They didn't work. You can see now. Now you can go, well, we dropped the Soviets because of this. Yeah. You know what you did? You outspin them. You made them spin so much they spent themselves freaking broke, right? But now you've pissed them off, and now they're building back up, and they got a lot of resources, and you're pissing them off. And now they're making deals with other countries.
They're subverting the petrodollar.
Yeah.
Along with China.
On purpose. And
On
you know
purpose,
what? Who
yes.
can blame them?
Exactly.
I should be able to, as a country, I should definitely be free to trade whatever currency I want to trade in. I shouldn't have to trade in dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can trade in gold if I want to with another country that has a bunch of gold. Screw you. That's what I'm going to do. You know? How can we be mad at that? They're not doing it to take over the U.S. necessarily. They're doing it to grow their own country. Would you not expect us to do the same thing?
Well, if they are doing it to take over the U.S., then isn't the biggest national security issue our monetary policy?
You'd think
Because
so.
if our dollar is propped up as the petrodollar and can be undermined by a foreign nation that easily, isn't that our biggest national security issue?
No. Unless you want that to happen, then you just got to have an army big enough to defend it.
Well, that's the
Which is
argument
what they're
I've
doing.
made, because that is the truth. I mean, that's the reality. I mean, a lot of people don't want to talk about it and look at it this way, but they ask the question, well, how can the government do this? Well, the simple fact of the matter is we have the most powerful army in the history of mankind, and we can glass your ass if we have to.
Yeah, we can turn you into a sheet of glass.
We have enough nuclear warheads to kill everyone.
A couple, like 50, 70 times.
So, start something. Do something. What? That's basically our policy. We are the bully that tells everybody, you're going to do this, or we're going to come in and kick your ass. That's what backs our dollar, is our bombs.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. We still do humanitarian things and go out there and do charity stuff too, which is a good thing, not necessarily a bad thing. Don't think the government should be doing either right now because they do both of it for the wrong reasons, not for really helping people, but for influence over the region, which you shouldn't do. You ain't giving to UNICEF because you want the United States to have influence over the region. You know what I'm saying? You ain't giving to charity. You ain't giving $6.95 to that little girl in Africa because you want the U.S. to be able to have influence there. You're doing it to help the little girl. Just do that. Shut and get the hell out of the rest. You've screwed enough stuff up over here too. You stupid big central planners, you. It's all about central planning. If you believe in central planning, you should have your head examined.
Yeah. Well, we get into these
Either way.
We get into these humanitarian wars that we pick and choose because Africa is littered with nations that are under the control of warlords where the conditions are horrible. Yeah, and we're just basically supporting the warlords. And we don't care about the atrocities that are going on in these countries. But when it becomes convenient for the central planners to have a humanitarian war against someone like Libya or Syria, they ramp up the machine. And
Why'd you take
beat the
Gaddafi out
drums.
then? Yeah. Why'd you take Gaddafi out then? In all reality,
Yeah.
He's such a bad guy. Yeah. You were paying him like a year ago.
The reality is he was organizing an African currency. Unified, backed by gold.
Would have been beautiful for Africa. Actually.
It would have been beautiful for all of them, and it would have been a big threat to the United States and the rest of the world.
It wouldn't even be a big threat. It would just stabilize the region.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm speaking from their perspective, the central planners, and how they reacted.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Why they took him out.
My bad, dude. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Their freedom was viewed as the threat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I stand corrected, my friend.
So they were going to become a threat to our power and our control over things. So that's why we took him out when we did.
Ain't that a bitch? Didn't they let the Lockerbie bomber go too and let him go back to Libya?
Yeah.
Why are you taking him out now? Like, what's your dicks? Yeah. You left him high and dry too. Because these guys were your allies at one point.
Oh yeah.
Until it went south.
That's part of the other problem is there's no trust with us in that region because we make deals with everybody and we screw everybody over. And it's what we do. Ask an American Indian. That's how our government works.
And here's the thing, man.
The only thing that the government ever said to the Indians that was true was that they were going to take the land. Everything else they reversed on. Same thing in the Middle East.
And here's the thing, though. Look, we can hash out and argue over who's at fault and who should be going to jail and all this other kind of stuff, right? But let's just stop doing it. Let's just get out of doing this stuff. And I know it sounds like, oh, that's just easy to say that. Look, it's not that hard to say we're just going to start pulling out of a bunch of countries. We're going to cut off foreign aid. We're gonna leave it for the people of our country to be generous if they choose to be generous. We're going to encourage it. That's a good way of saying it. We're going to encourage people to give, but we're not going to take the money from them anymore. We're going to let them give it to you, and they already give you a whole lot of money anyway. Mm-hmm. We'll find ways to look. If the government was going to be involved in anything when it came to, like foreign aid and stuff like that, maybe a clearinghouse where other countries could sign up there and, or aid could sign up there or something like that, or people could make it known, and the government vets it and then puts the information out, because maybe they don't have computers and stuff wherever they're at and they can't like make their own website and stuff, but put the information on there of who you could give to and like almost kind of certify stuff, but it's still voluntary. Like you pick one of these ones if you want to. You don't have to pick any of them if you don't want to. You can pick your own. You can go to Consumer Reports or, Consumer Charities or whatever they call that shit. Just give the money yourself. And what we say is a policy publicly that we're not going to give you any money anymore from the government. But the people who've given you a lot of money and will continue to give, we're going to give the money to them and let them pick and choose who they're going to give it to. But we're not going to make that decision for them anymore.
We'll facilitate the people finding the help that they need. But
I'm cool with that involvement.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. We don't have to take people's money and give it to other people.
And if you're and this is the other thing, back to Obama's speech. You know what? We don't need you making those decisions, guy. Like, we'll do them ourselves. That's the arrogant of it. Like, I'm going to make that decision. No, that's not your job, Dick. You know what I mean? That's not your job. Just get out of there.
Well, he talked like there's like this bipartisan agreement on so many things, and there's not. He talked like everybody agreed, and there's not. There's a lot of disagreement, clearly. And
it ain't even that they agree with the Republicans either, but they don't agree with you either, guy. 34% approval rating. Congress is at 9.
Yeah.
That's the other part that kills me. Do you know how many votes Obama got in Florida, 2012?
Not off the top of my head.
All right.
Do you want me to look it up?
No. I know the number. I know the number. I think I know the number. I'm not off by much if I know it. 4.6 million people voted for Obama.
Okay.
Or is it 4.6? Or 4.2? Either 4.2 or 4.6. That's the percentage of the vote that he got. Oh, no, that's the number of voters he got that voted for him, right?
How many registered voters in Florida?
11 million. Is that a mandate? No.
No.
Not when nearly 7 million voters didn't vote for him. And it's a combination of either voted for Mitt Romney, mistake. Gary Johnson, 1%. We're the 1%.
The Constitution Party, other party, and not voting.
But not voting was a big one, though.
Yeah.
That's the big one right there, not voting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people. You got to remember, in the election, 70%, that was 30% of the population didn't vote. 30%. What could you do with 30% in that freaking race? You know what I'm saying? Now, there are people that just won't vote, and I totally understand that. But a lot of them just don't know. You literally could go and hand them a piece of paper. Like, if you go visit them a couple times and just hand them a piece of paper come election, like before the absentees go out, with a list of just who to vote for, just if you only did that, you would be able to see the difference. Because you wouldn't have libertarians to vote for necessarily, but you'd pick winners and losers. You'd see who'd win and you'd see who lose. And you'd see where maybe you went DNR, but those are the ones that won. Like, you batted 1,000, basically.
Right.
Because if you hand your stuff out, then other people will look at that and go, I am going to go vote, man. This, Greg guy, he stopped by a couple times, libertarian, but, hey, man, I'm going to go vote for these guys. He did the homework for me. You know what I mean? That's the only piece of information. You go pass out stuff, and that's the book. So We always go back to the same subjects. I'm sorry, dude.
Back to the neighborhood.
I'm sorry, dude. Let's talk.
No, it's fine.
Off.
Oh, but
the
Obama.
rails.
Oh yeah, off the rails.
That's right.
You know what it is, man? We've just done so much. Like I did a commercial today, man. We talked about Next Door for a little bit. That was pretty
Although,
cool.
if you're going to talk about that, I'm very upset that no one has said anything about the fact that he just glazed over, as in one sentence, about NSA or, anything else that anybody has a problem with. It was a one sentence. There you go. I addressed that.
And didn't even address it clearly and properly.
No, just there you go. I acknowledge that you are pissed.
Yeah.
Man,
I am now going to pass out drunk on the couch.
yeah.
So
That is
so distracting.
It is actually amazing, though. I mean, you're literally spying on every American citizen, you dick.
Yeah.
And you're not even going to acknowledge that in this. The State of the Union is that we're all being fucking spied on. It's true.
Yeah. And he was so predictable in his speech because we're sitting there watching it and I'm like, well, here comes the NSA part. Here comes the Social Security part. Here comes the Common Core part. Yeah. It was so easy to predict what he was doing and what he was selling. And the problem with Obama is because he's such a great orator and he does have such great speeches that he delivers things in such a way where it's difficult to argue against it the way he delivers it, and you have to approach it the right way to argue against him, because it's like, well, how do you argue against prosperity? Well, because he's not going to create prosperity with what he wants to do. Well, how do you argue against people having health care and being able to work full time and not be in poverty? Well, because that's not what he's going to do. Because
It ain't happening now. We got the most people on it ever.
yeah.
Ever.
Exactly. So he delivers things in such a way where he makes it's difficult to get people to understand that this isn't what he's going to do. He's selling you. He's handling you.
Yeah, he's the ultimate handler. He is the ultimate handler. I gotta give him that. What a bastard. I can't even watch it all the way through. Like I have to turn it off, then try to turn it back on for a little bit, then turn it off, turn it back on. Like I can't sit there the whole time and watch it. Like the man he pains me.
Yeah.
You know what? Bush would have
At least
He
Bush
takes
used to make
no-
me laugh.
He takes notes from Clinton.
My Clinton was good.
Clinton was.
Boy,
good.
what you wouldn't give for a Clinton right now? You know what I'm saying? Not Hillary, but I'm saying, look, Bill. Hold on, but Bill was look what they did though. I mean, here's the thing that sucks. By the way, we were on a good trajectory before 2000.
Right.
It was getting better. And it was Republicans in charge of the House and the Senate, and the Democrat in charge of the White House.
There is the argument to be made, though, that Bill Clinton is kind of the one that's responsible for a lot of our foreign policy issues and the things that we faced and why we had 9/11.
I am not talking about our problems. I am talking about his charisma.
Well, I know that's what you're saying.
He is a charismatic MFer, though.
I was talking about what he's saying, though, as to we were on a good trajectory in 2000. Well, then 9/11, 2001 happened, and that trajectory changed. And then that happened because of, I mean, there are a lot of people that I've heard talk about this, a lot of people who are way smarter than I am. And because I've heard it from different sources, I kind of buy into this. And it's that the incident, the Black Hawk Down incident in Somalia, when we went into Somalia, basically we got punched in the mouth and we ran away. That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
We went into Somalia, we got punched in the mouth, and we ran. And that showed what would become Al-Qaeda,
Yeah.
that if you punch America in the mouth, they'll run away. And that's what they started doing. And Osama bin Laden and all these people came together and started punching us in the mouth. And ultimately, we got 9/11. We got the first Trade Center bombing. We got the USS Cole. We got the embassy bombings, and we weren't doing anything about it. They were absolutely right. They were punching us in the mouth, and we didn't do anything. We were running away. And finally, they got our attention on 9/11. So, I mean, Clinton was the one in charge doing all this. He's the one that pulled us out of Somalia. He's the one that sent us in there in the first place. And a lot of people have traced it back to that event as being an inspiring event to a lot of these militants in the Middle East.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, and Somalia was a big mistake, by the way. I mean, here's the thing, and this is the problem that they have all the time. If you're going to go and do something, man, go and do it right. Quit pussyfooting around with the business.
Yeah.
But again, declare war. If that's what we have to do, then that's what you have to do.
Well, Somalia was another one of those.
But you were doing what you know what it is? You're playing half-ass.
Yeah.
I don't want us to be half-ass. Don't go half-ass shit. People get killed when you half-ass shit. Mm-hmm. We know. We got a lot of proof. We got a lot of body bags.
Somalia.
Yeah, exactly. And you go in there with a light force like that anyway. You can't do the stuff like that. And you can go reconnaissance on stuff, and you can go small man teams on things, but it's specific missions and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Think about the one that they did to go get Osama bin Laden. I mean, if that was really him, which I think it was, but all that shit, and then they just eviscerate the Bill of Rights here.
Yeah.
Eviscerate it. Just it doesn't matter anymore. Remember 9/11. The thing is this: you're not protecting us from one anyway, though. If you really wanted to protect us, you'd get the hell out of all the other countries that we're in right now, because that's what's pissing these people off. Stop doing that. Well, we got to be there. We got to have influence. No, why? Have a positive trading influence with people. I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Yeah, how about we all prosper economically by having free trade and having the ability to
the good Ron
support
Paul.
each other.
Yeah. The good Ron Paul, the good Dr. Ron Paul. Mm-hmm. You're trading goods, you ain't trading bullets.
That's right. Well, that's one of our other problems is the United States is biggest arms dealer in the history of mankind as well, and we sell everybody guns.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It will not take long. Why don't you go look at some of the pictures of like Palestinian protesters and other? They're carrying M16s. There's a lot of AK-47s, but there's M16s out there too. Where did those come from?
Yeah.
Who sold those?
Oh, I don't know.
How did we know that Saddam Hussein had chemical weapons? Oh, that's right, because we hold the fucking PO.
Yeah, we had the receipt on that. And the problem is this. It's not America's fault as in the whole country. Like, look, if we knew the shit was going on, we didn't want them to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they're doing it. We just got to stop doing it.
Yeah.
Like, just stop already. I don't even understand. Like, I've embarked on something new here. Just a new outreach method, you want to call it that. But not one that's even political. But at a certain point, though, I know there'll come a time where I'm going to go in there and say, you know what, man? You know how we can actually support the troops? By bringing them all freaking home. Mm-hmm. Right now. And just people go, oh, well. I mean, I look at like, if we really supported them, let's do this.
Well, I totally agree with that. If we supported them, we wouldn't be sending them out to die. We wouldn't be sending them off in stupid missions that shouldn't be there in the first place because we incited these people to have problems with us for one reason or another. Mm-hmm. Either we killed their parents or we robbed them of their money or they realize what's going on in that country because of us.
Now, here's the thing, by the way. And this is what I think that should be the clincher argument for anybody that is a well-meaning neocon. Maybe that's a good way of saying it. If you agree that government intervention in domestic policy is such a bad thing, then why do you think that it doesn't have unintended consequences when you do it overseas? Like, where's the disconnect there? Because the intervention is still intervention, Blowback still blowback. Unintended consequences, which is a word you know very well when it comes to domestic policy, seems to just not be in the vocabulary when it comes to foreign policy. And I don't understand why.
Yeah.
I understand their argument as to why kind of like, oh, they're going to kill us. Okay. Do you not understand that the unintended consequences there from people that don't maybe want you to do that? And they're not in your country, dicks?
I think a lot of it is the lack of self-awareness and introspection, because as an individual they can't see fault within themselves, so they don't see fault within their country. And how can you blame America? This country's great, it's not our fault. You're blaming America by saying that. Well, no, I see that we can make mistakes and we can make bad decisions and we can do things wrong.
I'm blaming our government.
And it's not even just the government, it's individuals, specific assholes. The woman at the DMV is not the problem. The person that is filling out paperwork at the Social Security Administration is not the problem. It's the assholes in charge. The ones making decisions that are putting lives in danger.
I don't know. Sometimes it is the bitch at the DMV.
Well,
I'm just saying.
But you wouldn't have to deal with her. You wouldn't be forced to deal with her because you wouldn't have to. Well, DMV, you're probably still going to have to get a license or something like that, I guess. But again, you got to look at what you were going to do locally and what is going to be a national ID card. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, this is another thing to say. Let me say it this way. I'm going to say it a different way, though.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just say you were for that? Wait, what?
No, hold on. Let me explain it. Let me explain it a different way.
Okay.
It's not going to be mandatory, right? But, and this is a big but.
Voluntary.
No, it's not going to be voluntary. But no, this is a big.
ID card.
No. I said definitely not a national, like a local ID, like you go to the DMV and get, not a national one. But this is what I'm saying. There's going to be, like, if you want to get insurance, if you want to get insurance on your car, I think that there's going to be those places that are going to require that you get that. Now, you don't have to do business with those people, but on a whole, you're not going to be able to get insurance unless you have a driver's license.
right.
And the government has a DMV that you can get a local driver's license, prove who you are, whatever, that kind of thing. But that is going to be a requirement from an insurance company for you to get something like that. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? It's still voluntary. But you're going to have if somebody wants to do business with you, they may have stipulations. And a state-issued identification card could be one of those stipulations. Because you still got to know how to vote, so you still got to give the government your information. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so they can, you can get a license with them if you want to.
Any state ID or just real ID states?
Well, no, I wouldn't have a real ID because the only people that are going to have the information is going to be the local or the state government. It's not going to really go any further than that unless you've given permission for the information to go, like, to the federal government. Maybe you dealt with the federal government in some way or another. Because, again, I'm not for the abolition of the federal government. And maybe you went in the service. Again, I'm not saying we're getting rid of the military. We're just bringing them all home. We're going to lower the numbers. We're going to switch the reserve to the enlisted, or the reserve to the active rate, and you weed down the military. You know what I'm saying? You can't just shut it off overnight. You just bring them all home now. Base up. Put them on the border, for Pete's sake.
Well,
but you
you're
draw
a
them down,
wall guy,
though.
aren't you?
What's that?
You're a wall guy, though, aren't you?
No, not
I was
really.
about to say,
I'm not really.
I'm gonna
Here's the
start
thing.
building a wall.
I'm not really even a wall guy. But here's the thing. Where are you going to put them? Just put them on the border then. You got to bring these people home. You got to remember, you have a lot of people involved in the industry, and that there's certain. I hate to say it's going to be cheaper to keep them, but it will be cheaper at the end of the day to keep them, though, because you've made again. This is maybe a different question for you, but do you think that we have a responsibility to the people that we've injured because of the actions of this government?
Absolutely. As far as like veterans benefits
and stuff like that.
Absolutely. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, part of the reason why we should keep our military small and our activities limited is because, especially a disabled veteran, they should not have to worry about how they're going to get by in this country ever again. If they need a place to live, we should provide them with a place to live. If they need the ability to get food, we should give them the ability to get food, because they risked everything for this country and for this government. And as government property and followed those orders, and look what it got them. So the least we can do is make sure that they are not out there without any legs and homeless and can't get a meal. I mean,
Yeah, I think you have to.
I have no problem with taking care of these guys afterwards.
But you may have to deal with the federal government. You know what it is? I just want every interaction to be as voluntary as possible. Like, you shouldn't have
Absolutely.
to deal with the government to live. You should be able to live free. If you don't ever want to deal with the government, you really shouldn't have to in most 99% of the time. You know.
Okay.
You got to get closer to the mic.
This
Just
is
so
off
you
the
know.
rails.
I know. And we're not off the rails.
I am Veronica,
Hi, Veronica.
which means I can say anything I want
Yeah, sure you can.
with no consequences.
Well, hold on a second, though.
This is-
Then we'd have to, because you could really go off the rails.
I mean, you are on camera.
Yeah, that's a good point, by the way. Totally didn't even think about that. Do you like the cameras or not?
I'm indifferent.
As an actual listener, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
There's a certain serenity, I think. Not serenity is not the right word, but there's a certain, like, if you're listening to radio and you're not actually watching it, I think it's, I don't know, sometimes I like that better.
I disagree. Sorry.
And that's perfectly fine. That's why we have it in both.
We're moving to a video society
I think you might be right. I think you might be right, by the way.
with high-speed internet. That's,
Who's going to start singing "Video Killed the Radio Star"?
Well, I still listen to a lot of radio, though. And there's still a lot of people listen to podcasts, you know?
yeah.
That's another way to get it.
I mean, it's not dead. I'm just saying.
It's changing.
Okay, so I had a point.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I am going to be the evil, bad, awful person that says something that everyone else only thinks.
All right.
Okay.
I have a problem with the fact that Obama paraded. Okay, I'm just gonna be Veronica, yo. Okay, I'm
Say
just
it.
gonna be me.
Say it.
He paraded out a tard for everyone to stand up and applaud. And then, of course, he had to be one-upped at the end of it with the after thing, with us going, well, us. Why did I just say us? I'm not even part of y'all. I'm not even libertarian.
Well, that's how libertarian you are, though. That's the thing. See, we know that actually that's what makes you even more libertarian.
Yeah.
The fact that you won't even belong to the party that represents your views. You're like, I'm not even you guys. I'm not anybody. I'm just me. That's to be applauded, by the way. Not looked at and not looked down upon. Looked up upon.
Really, I don't feel that way. I feel. I mean,
Not from me, though.
Apart
Not
from
from me,
you.
though.
No, not you. But I have run across other libertarians
you will.
that are like, "Oh, you're NPA." Well, then you don't really care. Like, you're not really fighting the good fight. You're
Nah.
not really. No, I'm out there every Saturday.
She's
knocking
walking
on
doors for
Oh
Yes.
yeah, no, absolutely, no. I wouldn't. And here's the thing: if those people were out there, they freaking know that.
Yeah.
This is true.
You know.
Okay, so I have a problem with the fact that Obama paraded out a tard for everyone to stand and applaud, and then they had to like one up that with, well, here's a dead guy. So
In the Republican reaction,
we
yeah.
call your tard and raise you a dead guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally what that was with the Republican reaction.
It's just unbelievable. It's so theater.
It is. It's ridiculous. It's all theater.
But I'm a bad, evil person for saying this. I am not supposed to say this about.
Well, yeah. I totally agree with you. And
Here's the
I'm
thing:
evil.
you're not hold on. You're not making fun of the person necessarily. What you're doing is you're pointing out the fact that these
he's
people are being used.
yes, that's the problem.
Look,
That's the problem.
Look, I think you should do charity events and put them live on TV. Look, you want to open up the government for something? Just bring those people in, but just quit making laws, Dicks. Don't do the rest. You want to have a good time at a celebration and bring people in and tell people to donate, then go ahead and do that. I wouldn't mind an encouraging president, mind you. a motivating president. Hey, we should do this as Americans. We should, lessen our dependence on foreign oil. So we should make sure that we're producing more here. So, we were making
Ask
sure that
not
there's
what
no
your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Yeah, but just ask though. I don't. If you want to be a stingy bastard in this country, go ahead. And here's the thing: I even think I'd like to see the president actually say that. If you want to be a stingy bastard, well, you know what? I'm shaming you, but I'm making a law against it. I think it's wrong, and I'm going to expose it. I mean, if you want to do that, I mean, like if you run for political office, the amount of money you've donated to charity, I actually think should be a factor.
Well,
one advantage for Mitt Romney on that one, by the way.
Yeah,
dude gave like $30 million a year or something like. I mean, no, it wasn't $30 million. Was it $3 million a year? I think it was $3 million a year he gave to charity, consistently every year.
I would agree with a percentage more than a number.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Percentage of income.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that number based on percentage?
I think it was
income?
30% of his income.
Okay.
I think it was
that where the 30s
20s or the 30% of his income. Maybe that's what it was. Compared to Obama, which was at 1%. And it ain't like, here's the thing. Think about it too, though. Obama made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But as a percentage of his income, what he donated, 1%. Didn't even break to 5. You know what I'm saying? You can't even get a 5 out of you.
Well.
And can I also say, because I am no one and I get to do this, Michelle Obama, I want to stab in the face with a fork.
Oh, no.
I'm just curious as I always view her indifferently, but I'm curious as to why you believe this.
How can you
or why you want this.
How can you look at that evil face and just be indifferent about it? Like she is anger.
I mean, I hear you and all. I really do. I'm not saying I don't understand where you're coming from.
She doesn't even pretend. At least he puts the mask on and goes, yeah.
Well, look, I can barely listen to him for very long. You think I'm going to be able to listen to his wife?
No, you don't even have to
you
listen
don't
to her.
understand.
You just have to look
putting
at
her
her
on screen last night was enough to infuriate her.
Yes. Every time she came on screen, I wanted to punch my TV.
I don't have the same.
And of course,
I actually don't even have the same hatred for the chick. I mean, I really don't. At the end of the day,
I don't either. But
she's not the president. I'm not blaming her.
Yeah.
You know, even though you have every right to blame her, though. But I'm not.
She annoys me. But
I
don't
think
hate
you
her.
underestimate the power of pillow talk.
Well, no, absolutely.
Oh, I'm not saying that either. But there's a plan going in place. Neither one of them are in charge of it. So.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't even think Obama's in charge of the plan that's in place.
Yeah.
The plan that's in place is bigger than him, and it's bigger than any 4 or 8 years in office.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, are we talking about Soros?
No, I wouldn't
go in Illuminati.
No, I wouldn't even go Illuminati. I'd honestly go in an ideology is in place, though. That's for sure. Here's the thing: you can go down those other roads, and I'm not even saying they're false or not, but you can literally say that there's just an ideology in place because obviously both sides are all for it.
There's an ideology in place, and whether or not there's an Illuminati or whatever, there are organizations, clubs, fraternities, universities that the people who run shit are all a part of. It is a very small, close-knit group of people who are in charge of everything. Whether you want to call them the Illuminati, whether you want to think it's a vast conspiracy that goes on for generations, doesn't matter because it's there. I don't know whether it's necessarily the Illuminati or not, but I do know that all these people that are always in charge of everything always go to the same schools or part of the same universities, part of the same clubs, go to the same golf courses. They're always doing the same things, and they all come from the same sources. So, whether it's some vast conspiracy like the Illuminati, I don't know. But there's definitely a very small number of people coming from the same lines who are in charge of everything, and always have been and always will be.
Well, I hopefully disagree with you on the always will be part, but
well, we're trying. That's the hope for the best, expect the worst.
Yeah. No, it's fair enough, too, by the way. They could very easily win this thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of factors in play here, but... And again, tyranny may come out the other end of it anyway if we go to social unrest. I mean, that's when anything can happen, so... I mean, you can win and you can lose. Depends on what you did before that, though. You know,
Yeah.
it's a weird fight, dude. I'm telling you. Sometimes you want to shake the shit out of people.
Yes.
I really refrain. I mean, when I go door to door, I never
Don't
do
shake
that.
the baby.
Shaken baby syndrome is bad.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true, by the way.
We're 5 minutes over.
You want to keep going or you want to stop?
I'm not scared.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
If we're going over, I'm lighting a cigarette.
Light it up, baby.
Okay.
Light it up. Light it up, baby.
We're going to do at least 5 more minutes.
Light it
However
up.
long
Oh,
it takes.
yeah, we're good. We're good. I mean, unless you want to cut it off, we'll cut it off. I'd like to try to do a marathon show one time where we just did 24 hours straight.
I would be up for trying that.
Trying a 24 hours straight show? You got to take commercial breaks.
Well, we have some things that we're thinking that we're trying to do coming up.
Yeah,
that
well,
we're not
yeah,
gonna
we might
mention
do.
right now, but
we're not going to
we-
mention that.
But we might do 24 hours for that. That might be cool.
I mean, people
How
won't
cool
be
would-
there for all 24 hours. You'd have to do
No,
a
but-
little bit of legwork in order to make that happen, but you could make it happen.
We
though.
could make it happen, even if we had to, like, instead of being at where we've been all day, move it to someplace else.
You could do a combo show where you're doing the stuff during the day and the play-by-play if you were in there.
Y'all are totally having one of those off the air
We are,
conversations.
but anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, my
Yeah.
bad.
that would be cool though to do.
I know what
24
you're
hours.
talking about, but no one else does.
No.
That's true. That's true.
And we're doing it intentionally, which sucks. So
Yeah, it
sorry,
does suck.
everybody.
I not even I even care though. I would tell people, but I just don't even know.
I'm sorry. Something about sitting in Danielle's seat just made me point that out to y'all.
appreciate that. It might be the aura. You know, she's so smart. She leaves an aura there. You know,
She does.
she does. That bitch does. I'm telling you, she's a Wikipedia. She is a Wikipedia man.
I am not trying to fill that girl's shoes.
Oof. Well, I wouldn't. Might drive average person insane. Heck, might drive her insane.
Or her bra. Neither one of those is going to happen.
Alrighty then. Yeah, don't sell yourself short though. You know?
Everybody has something to offer.
Yeah. God bless America.
Just from the back. Y'all have been way too on the rails. That's all I'm saying.
You know, but you know what though? I honestly sometimes you just want to. I know it sucks too, man. But I don't love, but I really
You
just
do love.
find the.
You do
No, I
love.
do love. I love just. Do you know how when Beck came out a little while back, right? Did you hear what he did? Where he apologized to
Yes.
everybody for being divisive.
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, it was awesome.
He was.
He was.
I don't
He
think he's.
absolutely
I don't think he's going to. I don't know if he's going to change or not. I'm not even going to
hopeful.
gauge a guess.
I'm hopeful.
I'm hopeful, but I'm probably with you on that one. I'm expecting the worst and hoping for the best.
Yes,
I'm the wrong person.
she loves Glenn.
I
Beck.
love Beck.
You think he's being genuine about this then?
I love Beck.
No. That's
She didn't have a problem with him in the first place. She didn't feel like he had anything to apologize for. So
Oh, really? So you didn't think Beck did anything wrong beforehand, though?
I understand exactly what he's saying, and I can see what he's saying, but I don't feel any need to apologize for things that I did, before I knew Maya Angelou. When you know better, you do better,
Right.
I don't feel any need to apologize for anything I've done before.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I'll go with that. Now, here's the thing, though. The difference between you and Beck, by the way, and this is not to be rude or anything
I'm
like
a
that.
girl.
That is one thing, by the way. You're much better looking than
And
Glenn Beck.
I'm not a Mormon.
That's another thing. Another good. There you go.
Okay.
So you got that going for you.
Okay.
But the other thing is, like
We can
Glenn
keep
Beck-
going.
No, Glenn Beck. At a certain point in time, when they started the money bomb, Glenn Beck attributed it to Ron Paul supporters being terrorists. That's what he did. Now he knew better than that.
well,
When he was on CNN, he did that.
there's a lot of things he did and a lot of
There's-
things he said.
So I would be hopeful,
In
but
a-
not
in a-
optimistic.
In an extremely drunken state, might I add.
Well, there were things he said and did when he was sober that I have problems with.
Well, I don't think he was drunk on the CNN one.
No.
But
No,
then
I think he was- I
but
think
now,
he was-
but in the same sentence though, he's had Napolitano on, he's had Penn Jillette on. He's had libertarians on. Lately. He's been giving people that are Republican firsters a ton of crap on the air, live on the air, saying don't listen to my program. Then, which that's beautiful. Glad he's doing that. So again, I'm hopeful, but we've been burned in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy said to go for Romney when he could have said to go for Johnson. And he didn't. He said go for Romney. We got to get this guy out of the White House. Now he's like, "Oh, that's the worst mistake I ever made." Yeah, but you know what, though? You're always making it, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
that
know?
wasn't the first time you made that mistake.
Yeah, you've done that before. And every time it feels like a little bit like you get stabbed in the back. You know? You got to remember this, too. I mean, I ran for office. Well, look, we tried our ass off to get on Beck's program. He had Rubio on, talked about it all the time, would never let us on. Adrian tried to contact him over and over again. He was like nude Nazi pictures with Beck, and then finally got blocked. It was in the title, but it had nothing to do with that. But it was just let us on the air. I mean, Adrian got through once, remember? And he was like, "Oh yeah, we should check them out." Never fucking heard from them. Like that's what pisses me off. That's what makes me mad about Beck. Is that for everything he's supposed to be about, we should be about, and yet when our candidates are there, they get nothing.
Exactly.
You know.
Because he was a Republican firster.
Yes.
Absolutely was.
Now he's saying he's reformed. Well, we'll see. I'm hopeful.
Yep, I'm hopeful. I like what I'm seeing out of him lately, but I am not.
And that's not that's not to deter your love for Glenn Beck. Love him all you want.
Yeah.
I'm all for your love of him.
That's what
I
I
do.
told. That's what
I
I told
will.
her. I'm like,
That's cool. No, I'll listen to Beck in the mornings. Look, if I'm driving around at that time during the day, Beck would be one of the shows that I would listen to. I may not listen to all of it. I may flip back and forth if I can find like an NPR, because I like NPR too. But I totally love NPR, by the way. I will totally flip back and forth when I'm driving the car between NPR and Beck. I know it sounds weird to say it that way.
It does.
Do you ever listen to NPR, though?
That's swinging on
Not
the
for
top
long.
and bottom.
You ever listen to NPR, though? Like
I-
Fresh Air or
I used
any of the
to.
shows?
I used to once upon a time. I've given up.
I cannot listen to NPR while driving. I don't understand how you do it. I've never listened to NPR for long because I've never stayed awake that long once I've turned NPR
yeah,
on.
you can't drive. and
NPR is
listen to
for
that.
people who
Oh, I
don't
lo-
have narcolepsy
Oh.
but really want it.
Oh, dude, you know what I used to listen to, by the way? BBC. Like, when I was driving back like, late at night from somewhere, BBC News.
Yeah.
My nanny's from England, so I'm all about the BBC.
That's a great news, though. That's world news, though. They do world news.
Yeah.
But it's like at 2 in the morning. Like, I'm driving somewhere trying to get home. It's like 2 a.m. BBC News is on. Like, it's so cool. I loved getting BBC News. I get the podcast now. I don't even listen to it enough anymore, but a lot of international stuff, though. A lot of Africa shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a big continent, to be honest with you, if you're going to go with
Well,
news.
it's-
And a lot of people getting killed.
Yeah. And nobody talks about it here.
Yeah, the
Nobody cares here.
BBC World Service.
We don't care here until we're told to care
Ain't that
by
a
the
bitch?
media.
Like, and all the, you know what the theme of tonight was? All the information's out there if you just look at it.
Yeah.
I think what drives libertarians crazy is that they have, and then they're like, why doesn't everybody else look at this? And then
That's the
they
problem.
don't, and you go, what the f- is your problem?
We read all this stuff
Fuck
and
you,
we're
you
like,
fuck- ah!
we read all this stuff. We read the history. We understand what's happened. And we're like, how could you people not see this? Well, because they don't care. Because they're not reading anything. They're not
Yeah, but
learning anything.
because
They're not
they're
paying
born
attention.
into a system and where that's not even encouraged anymore.
They're a battery.
That's pretty tough.
They're in the matrix.
That's a slash on public education. To be honest with you, is what it is.
Well,
There is no spoon.
there is no
There is no spoon, baby. That's what I wish people would understand.
I think we need to end on that note.
Oh,
There is no spoon.
one other thing. I did a taping of the speech, which we'll get into that. This is a secret plan,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I did a taping.
Hey, let
When
me
I did the
discuss
commercial-
Should we
the
end with
secret
that?
plan.
Hey, you know what, man? Here's the thing. You know what? If you are one of the people that listens to this show, because there's not many of them, but if you are one of those people, you should get cool information.
They should.
Because we won't talk about it anywhere else, but we'll talk about it here. You know, you got to be listening to us at 12:44 on a Wednesday in order to get this, or go back and listen to the podcast. But even then, you got to be 2 hours in, though. You get 2 hours and 15 minutes in. It's like you got to wait. It's like the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Remember,
That's
everybody had to
right.
wait around the movie theater. You
Yeah.
got a little something special there.
That's
there
right.
you go. You know what 12:44 on a Wednesday is? A little something special.
Little something special.
God bless America, Greg. It's funny saying it.
When the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
Very good. Very, very good. Don't you have that with like a Metallica background?
Yes, I did. I did this one.
Next time.
There's a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
You know what? This country changes when that dream comes alive. Love that, man. That's awesome. That's such a great... Like, you feel that one, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
it works. I'm hoping it works.
I
That's a
love it.
good idea, by the way.
It's brilliant.
It really is. It really is a good idea. God, I just hope it works. Oh,
I'm
God.
in.
Oh, that's 3. That's 5. 'Cause
Did
we
you
know.
not know I was in?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
I haven't talked to him since then, but I told him that you would more than likely be in. I didn't want to commit you. I knew you would, but I didn't want to commit you until I talked to you about it. But yeah, she's
something like that. You gotta ask. You never can't tell. Oh no, I would have. Look, I wasn't gonna assume for you, man. I knew you. If somebody asked you in, you're cool. I mean, I'm down.
Bitch, I'm down.
Hey, look, man, I'm happy. You know, sucks we won't be able to share a jail cell, but you know, whatever.
I'm gonna be all by myself.
We might find another woman. Maybe. It would be nice if we did, to be honest
Make
with
a
you.
good Jill
I would
cell
like
porno
to.
with.
Yeah. I mean, you ain't going to the Fed, man. I mean, you're just going to county for like an hour or two.
You never know
I mean,
what
you ain't
can happen in an
they're not-
hour
hold
or
on.
two.
I mean, they're not. Hold on, they're not bringing you with the sodomites or anything like that. What the fuck? The sodomites.
She's gonna get initiated into a gang.
Part of the Shamrock Lassies.
She got jumped in.
All right, one more cigarette, then we'll. All right, one more.
The show's just now gaining steam.
I know.
I know. It's
Just
getting
now
good.
getting enough steam to get off the rails.
Maybe.
The first hour, I was sitting over there going, oh, I want to say this, 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 and I couldn't. And then I got here, and then it was like, oh, no, there's no windows. There's no openings. Oh, you people suck.
Now you know what it feels like. Sitting here with Alex.
I know it sucks. I even tell you before the beginning of the show, like I'm not gonna talk, and I still do it.
He's like, I'm gonna give you a chance to talk. No, you're not.
Like I mean well too. I really mean to try to, and I can't. It sucks.
fine.
Hey, that's one thing I love about Alex Jones, by the way. You ever listen to AJ?
I don't regularly, but I have.
Every show, he says he's going to get to the callers. Every show. And he means it. I swear he means it. Because he even tries to say it new ways. Like, I really mean it this time. I know I don't ever do it. Like, he admits he never does it. But this time, I'm really going to try to get to the phones. Never gets to the phones. I mean, he will sometimes. Don't get me wrong. But the times he says he's going to get there and he actually gets there, I mean, he'll just go on rants. And sometimes he'll take 2 calls and then just rant for a half hour.
Yeah, I was about to say I've heard him take calls before, but it's usually like he'll take 1 or 2, and like the one of those calls will get him going, and he won't take any more because he's going off.
But he doesn't want to do it. Like he keeps telling him, like he'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, okay, no, I'm ranting here. But, like he's just a big teddy bear at the end of the day, but he just can't shut up. I understand what he means. I feel for you, Alex. I really do.
If we had callers, they would totally get ignored by Alex. he would totally keep talking and not get to the phone lines.
Oh,
it's a good thing we don't have any callers.
Actually, the
Thank
first
God I'm not
time
in charge of that.
the first time I ever called into the show, I told you had bad customer service skills.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. We're not good in that department. We need people better than us to do that. Well, here's the thing, man.
Let's outsource it to India.
Oh, I wonder if you could do that. You think they got like a call center thing in India that could take the calls?
Thank you for calling Liberty Underground.
The underground. Hey, Rajit, how can I help you?
I think that's globally how you do your part, man. You know, get an outside call center. There you go.
Would you like a cherry slushy with that?
Oh, man. You know, it's
No. If she gets to say that Morgan Freeman or Samuel L. Jackson is the token black man, then
you get the slushy. You get
I
the slushy,
get the slushy
stereo.
comment.
You get the slushy stereotype.
Because
No,
neither one of you raised a fucking eyebrow. Neither one of you.
I did. You just couldn't see it.
there you go, though. Hey, look. Here's the thing. I prefer, maybe not prefer, but you know what? Look, I go to the little small mom and pop. You know, everybody calls them that. The Habib store. You know what I'm saying? You call them the Habib store,
The
right?
Habib store.
But that's where I go. And I try to strike. Look, the guy that lives down the street from me, the guy that does his show, he's from Pakistan. Was talking to me tonight. Been in the country for 26 years. Opened up his first one off of over in Dade City, and ran it there. Said right in the middle of the rednecks. I was like, oh yeah. Talk to him tonight. You know what? He's a part of the community, like anybody's part of the community. Though He's been here for 26 years. It ain't like he just got. I mean, a couple decades ago he got here. You know, he owns a convenience store. Hey, when you need a pack of smokes, he's there for you. You know.
Well, see, I don't call mine Habib store. I call it Ashwin store because I know the guy by name and he knows what I want when I walk in, and I don't even have to ask him for it. It's sitting on the counter waiting for me. So, I mean, yeah, I got no problem with this guy.
Hey, he's just a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. No,
I don't know why that a lot of Arab people run convenience stores. You know, I mean, Arab is not the right word, but there's a lot of Middle Eastern people that run convenience stores. Hey, cool. If that's their niche, man, then go with it.
It's because they're not afraid of the guns.
Well, I think there is another reason behind that, though. I think be honest with you, there's a tax reason behind all that.
That's what I was going to say. I think there's like a tax reason and some kind of.
God damn it, mine was funnier.
Yeah, well, it definitely was.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was funnier, though. It was. It just wasn't true.
It was funny. It's just not true. Well.
And maybe
she is playing my part because that's usually what my comments
there
are.
you go. Thank you.
They're funny, not true.
Thank you very much, Veronica Gregg.
Oh, that's great.
The mistress of the sustress. I don't even know what word
Mistress of
sustress.
distress.
I don't know what the sustress mean, but I just had to
Sustress.
like. I was hoping it would be something that would work, but it didn't. It was horrible. I'm sorry. My apologies.
I am a
Lord,
succubus.
Lord,
Succubus.
succubus. Let's hope not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's hope you're not a succubus. I mean, succubus ended up being bad. Not a good thing.
I'm aware.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, right?
That's not a good time.
No, it is. It is a good time.
Well, it is a good time.
It's a good
Well,
For a little
time.
while.
Are you like a good succubus?
It's yeah.
Could it be a succubus? Yeah.
Well, that's just taking. Now the show's just taking a whole different turn. Now this is what the hell's going on here.
Welcome to Love Live.
What a great! Did you ever listen to that show?
Yeah, all the time.
Love Line.
Yeah.
That was really a good show. By
I
the way.
actually usually listen to it on the way home on Wednesday nights from here.
Because it's still on at that time.
My name is Kinky Briefcase Sexual Accountant. You need my card if you can't get hard.
Hey, do you remember? By the way, hold on. You may not even know this. I don't think they're still on Tan Talk anymore. But do you remember the Foxy Forum on Tan Talk?
Yes.
Okay, you don't know about this show. This is so great.
I'm from North Kakalaki.
I understand. I understand. There was a show on Tan Talk 1340 AM called the Foxy Forum. The Foxy Forum was a show with two women,
Were they lesbians?
sometimes three. They were a lot more than that.
Were they pretty?
Oh yeah, they were very beautiful women. Actually, I mean, they were all beautiful women. But they like went to Caliente and all the naked resorts and was into sex toys and would literally have hookers on the show. Now, they had high class hookers on the show, or maybe a higher class hookers. Like it ain't like they got Betsy walking
Those
off
are
the
called
street.
escorts.
Okay, that's what they call them, escorts. So they would have escorts on the show and interview escorts about their escorting service. On the show.
Yeah.
Like literally, this was the show. Like if you're a dude and you want to pay to get laid, like this is the show you would listen to in order to figure out the good ones that you would pay to get laid
That's awesome.
on Friday nights. Mm-hmm. Every once in a while, I'd listen in. It was a very interesting show. I got to tell you. I don't think it's still on
learned
though.
how to get what you want from a hooker from watching Cops.
Well, it's kind of like the before parts and not really those parts. Kind of like the before part of Cops, not really like the during part of Cops, though. I wonder if they're still on, though.
I was also really into the HBO pimps up, hose down,
Yes.
hookers on the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I remember that one. I do remember that one, though. They used a much more of a limelight with this one. And they're not really like the same kind. Like, it was a weird deal, man, I'm telling you. Like, it's really a weird deal. It was a fun show, though. The other thing is, there was pictures out there of both of their boobs, I think.
Yeah.
One of them for sure. One of them actually used to make paintings with her boobs, where she'd put paint on her boobs and then like go like this and then go up and down and left and right or make dots and shit. Like, oh, you guys don't even believe me, do you?
No, I've seen that before.
No, I've seen it. I know. It was just
It's your description and you're acting it out.
yes, and imagining you doing it. I'm sorry.
Well, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Though.
It'd be hairy.
Not really that heavy, to be honest with you.
Really?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
It looked more like brushwork.
So, hold on. It looks like they're doing. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, you found RedTube.
No, this is not RedTube. No, this is the Foxy Forum. So now what it is it's Welcome to the Foxy Forum, a lifestyle talk show tuned every Friday night from 10 to midnight. So they're still doing it from 10 to midnight with Angie Fox, but I don't think they're on Tan Talk anymore.
Is this what you distract Danielle with?
No, I've never been to the site, or at least not in a long, long time. Because it's, that's the woman, by the way. She makes paintings. Hold
Oh,
on.
a swinger cruise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what they're doing.
Oh.
Hold on here. Foxy Podcast Show. Contact Team Foxy. I wonder if they have a store, is what I was looking for here.
Buy old episodes or pictures or paintings.
No.
The
She did
swinger
paintings. She
ship.
used to do the swing. Yeah, look at that. January 31st. That's like coming up, isn't it? Tomorrow. They have a YouTube channel.
I'm trying to find
They are still doing it on Tan Talk. Huh? Ain't that something? The Foxy Forum. That's her right there. She makes paintings with her boobs.
Yes, but where are her boobs?
Well, you can't really see the picture from there, so let me see if I can find another one.
I don't care about her face.
The host. I guess it's just her now, though. There used to be more than one. Yeah, here she is.
Oh.
They're big. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, yeah,
The,
but
the
there's
first result
big,
is the
but-
Tan Talk website.
Yeah, no, it goes right to it. But then from there, you can get to her website then.
A serial entrepreneur?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
She just goes out and has fun. God bless her. You know?
Now that's America.
That's on the Tan Talk Radio Network, right? And
That
how
is
funny
on-
is that?
That is on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Yeah.
The Swingers Cruise is leaving out of Tampa, Florida, January 27th through February 1st.
Wait, that says January 24th.
That's what it looks like. It was $800 per person.
I think that's the broadcast.
$800 per person?
Yeah.
Oh, I can go on Craigslist and find people for way cheaper than that.
Well, this is like a cruise. Though. You got to remember, these people are kind of highfalutin at the same time,
Yeah.
too. Like,
These
they like
people
going
are
out having
probably
fun.
cleaner.
Okay, so go to the beach.
These people
or
are
get a
probably
hot
cleaner,
tub, or-
and you have a much
How do you
better.
know that?
Well, here's the other thing. I think you have a much better chance of not ending up buried in the backyard off of this cruise when off of Craigslist. Your chances are very different.
No, because they're doing swinging couple stuff.
Well, look, if that's your thing, then, this is the place to do it.
I'm just saying that
Why not on a cruise?
your man should take care of you and make sure that you don't end up buried in a shallow grave in someone's backyard.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing, though. That's why you would do something like this, though, because this is all safe and shit. This is all kind of like nice and like these people are really nice. Like this Angie Fox person, these
This
people
is
are really
basically
nice
just
people.
doing it on a boat.
But they're really nice. They're like really nice,
What it's
beautiful
about.
people, though. They really are.
I have a waterbed.
Well, again, that's you want to be left alone. These people don't want to be left alone. They want to network with other people and have fun. And,
All I know
Who
is
said I wanted to be left alone?
well, I think you kind of indicated that with what you just said right there.
Oh, no, I think you misunderstood.
So you don't want to hang out with them.
I said I didn't want to be dead in a shallow grave.
Well,
in
yeah, but
someone's
you wouldn't be-
backyard.
and
You
she
wouldn't
doesn't
be
want to
here,
pay
though.
$800.
And I don't want to pay $800.
Oh yeah, no, I got you there. But it's like going on a cruise though. Like some people just go on cruises and pay $800 and don't have to do a cruise where it's.
I mean, I can just like
everybody's
walk outside
naked.
and flash somebody, and it doesn't cost me $800. And more than likely, they'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Oh, Glenn Pav's on this? I don't even know what's on the damn Tan Talk Radio Network anymore.
Click on schedule.
Oh, Glenn Pav's on at 9 a.m. Oh, that's who ends up getting our 9 a.m. slot.
Well, this is making for great radio.
Yes, it really is.
Oh, is it not making for great radio?
He's like, look, he's about to drool on himself, I think.
No, I just was looking at this. Oh, that's funny. Huh? That's the show on before mine.
Okay.
Sorry. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll back up. I'm sorry. My bad.
Should we wrap this up?
Let's wrap this up. I'm sorry. You've been listening to Off the Rails. Again, if you listen to this show, I really think it's one of those things where you're just,
A glutton for punishment.
maybe a
Thank
little
you.
bit.
We want to thank you if you listen to
Yeah,
this
if you listen to the show, thank you. And I hope if you want to make a contribution to the show, you can always call and tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Because we're just letting it go where it goes.
Clearly.
Clearly. Well, especially if Danielle's not
Because the
here.
refresh telephone line is 1-800-525.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna give that up right now because we're getting off the line now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm making fun of you.
Well,
Are
it's
you not?
pretty easy to do, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's kind of not
Especially
really
on
any
this show.
fun.
No, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. But that's what makes it. See, the thing is, it's really funny at the same time too, though. So works out well.
Exactly.
All right, guys, off the rails, 1787network.com. We'll see you guys on Friday, 9 a.m. The Wiley will be on first hour. I'm telling you now, Wiley's on first hour. No, second hour. Second hour. Wiley's on second hour.
Off the rail.
Off the rails.